Meng gazed into the night, took a puff of his cigarette, and offered it to Wu Meng. Say nothing. Wu Meng accepted the cigarette. Taking a few puffs while remaining silent, his head bowed. If you need to cry, go ahead. At last, Wu Meng could no longer contain his emotions. He clung to Wang Lang, weeping bitterly. Old wolf, I've experienced a heartbreak. I'm heartbroken. Wang Lang retrieved his phone and posted on a forum. I suddenly realized my buddy is a lovesick fool. What should I do? Should I silence him? Chapter 30. What I lack is not money. It was a dilapidated neighborhood, predominantly filled with aging buildings that had not seen repairs for years, causing the plaster to peel away and reveal thick moss beneath. Inside the apartment, an indescribable odor lingered, and the flickering dim light cast shadows in the dark corners where the shrill cries of feral cats echoed. Bang! A door suddenly crashed to the ground without warning. Hanli furrowed his brow, struggling to discern whether this place was a residence or a chilling haunted house. I sincerely apologize, but rest assured. The accommodations here are perfectly habitable, Ling Han hastily assured, fearing that Hanli would retreat like previous guests who were spooked by the eerie atmosphere. The viewers in the live stream momentarily believed they were witnessing a supernatural show, their fright palpable. Goodness, is this truly a haunted house? Can anyone live here? For heaven's sake, I might end up as neighbors with spirits. Even if you offered me money, I wouldn't stay. My life is paramount. No wonder I haven't seen anyone on the way here. In such an environment, it's remarkable that anyone would dare to reside. Hanli remarked, feeling deceived. It was not until Ling Han guided Hanli to a particular room that the ambience shifted from the previous macabre to something markedly normal. This room appeared considerably more inviting, even illuminated by warm sunlight, exuding an entirely different aura. This is the finest property I have on hand. Please take a look. I assure you will not regret it. Ling Han proclaimed as he produced a key and handed it to Hanli. To be fair, the room was indeed well decorated. Spanning 220 square meters, it boasted a bedroom and kitchen, all fully equipped. Look, it even has an outdoor balcony. Ling Han elaborated, showcasing the space he had meticulously arranged. You have evidently invested a great deal of effort into this room, Hanli observed, admiring Ling Han's thoughtful arrangements. If you find it satisfactory, I can sign the contract immediately. Lack of identification is not an issue. However, Hanli proposed. I would like to stay here for a night and provide my response tomorrow, if that is acceptable. Ling Han was taken aback. What kind of request was this? Having worked in real estate for so long, he had never encountered such a client. He had heard of food tastings, clothing fittings, and test drives, but never a trial of living in a house. Coupled with Hanli's earlier statement regarding his lack of identification, it was plausible he fit the mold of a con artist. After considerable hesitation, Ling Han clenched his fists. His recent sales had been dismal, and failing to secure a deal could lead to his dismissal. Without a job, he would struggle to afford his grandmother's medication. Very well. This is the key to the house, Mr. Han. I trust you. I will come by at the appointed time tomorrow, Ling Han declared, handing over the key. Hanli gazed at the key in his hand, surprised that Ling Han had indeed acquiesced to his request. Aren't you concerned I might abscond tomorrow? Ling Han gasped, gripping Hanli's hand. Mr. Han, I believe you are not that kind of person, correct? Hanli replied with a smile. Who knows? The viewers in the live stream began to jest. Mr. Han, what a rogue. You're a charming scoundrel. What is next? Not paying after the deal? Bullying the honest folks. Hanli could see the tension in Ling Han's expression, reminiscent of a child fearing abandonment by an adult. It was utterly amusing. He stifled a chuckle and then, with utmost seriousness, declared, I assure you, I will never deceive you. That is reassuring, Ling Han responded. Ling Han entrusted him with the key and departed. The following day, Ling Han rose early, glanced at his watch, donned his work attire, and proceeded to Hanli's residence. May the Bodhisattva bless me. I hope Mr. Han is not toying with me. Monk, was yesterday's deal successful? I signed a major client. Upon turning back, he was met with the mocking faces of the same agents who had ridiculed him before. They had bullied him for quite some time now. He will provide a response today, they said. Ling Han feigned confidence, not wishing to let these individuals look down on him. However, the agents erupted in laughter. What can someone without even an ID expect? They jeered. Ha ha ha. Monk, spare us your bravado. Who in their right mind would rent that rundown house? Ah, don't worry. It's just a failed deal. No one will laugh at you. At this point, they've probably left, having deceived someone as naive as you. Monk, honestly, you're not cut out for this business. You should seek alternative paths. Not true. Mr. Han is not that kind of person, I can tell. Ling Han's gaze was resolute, filled with stubbornness. Anyway, it's no big deal. Shall we go take a look? Sure. Monk, you don't mind, do you? Oh no, that would expose the truth. It's better to save face. Ling Han steeled himself, thinking, if you wish to come, then come. Thus, several agents followed Ling Han to Hanli's residence. When they arrived, the door stood ajar, and there was no sign of Hanli. It was evident. The individual was a fraud. The agents chuckled, their tone dripping with sarcasm. TSK, Monk, you've been duped. Hurry, check if you've lost anything. What are you waiting for? Call the police, Monk. You didn't heed our warnings, and now look what has happened. What a pity. Ling Han gritted his teeth, pain evident in his eyes. Yet he still believed in Mr. Han and refrained from calling the authorities. The agent sighed. How foolish. With this mindset, you should resign from being an agent. Who said I'm a fraud? That voice belonged to Mr. Han. Ling Han turned to see a familiar figure, and his doubts dissipated. The agents were equally astonished. He had returned? Han Li ignored the agents and approached Ling Han. I just went out to buy breakfast. Did you bring the contract? The contract? Of course, I have it with me. Ling Han exclaimed joyfully, pulling out the housing contract. Han Li didn't even glance at it. He signed it with a pseudonym. Then he opened his phone to create a payment account using a multifunctional device for convenience, thus avoiding the risks of withdrawing cash from the bank. How much do we need to pay? Ling Han inquired. 300 a day, with a deposit of 100,000. Is that acceptable? Mr. Han, if there are any issues, we can discuss them. Well, there are indeed issues. How about this? 1,000 a day, and I'll give you a deposit of 200,000. Huh, is this a negotiation? Why is the price increasing instead? Beep. Ling Han was still in a state of astonishment when the notification sound of a payment echoed from his phone. Your account has received a payment of 200,000. 200,000, just like that? Ling Han. By the way, Ling Han, the real estate agency has no future. Come work with me. 1,000 a day, meals and accommodation included. Here is a little tip for you. Think it over. Beep. Your account has received a payment of 150,000. Ling Han was utterly dumbfounded. 150,000. Is this really just a tip? The other agents present watched in disbelief, unsure of what to say. What does it mean to be extravagantly wealthy? This is what it truly means. 200,000 given without hesitation. And now another 150,000, merely considered a tip. How terrifying. Who on earth is he? Could he be some kind of executive? How infuriating. He sought me out first. I was the one who arrived first. The portly agent looked at Ling Han, who had done nothing yet received 150,000. The envy was palpable. If only he had not turned down Han Li. He would be the one receiving the money now. Regret coursed through him like poison. How could he have missed such a golden opportunity? Oh, how I wish I were dead. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became, slapping himself in frustration. It stung fiercely. Sir, the properties here are not up to standard. Come to our place. We have the best upscale community. Yes, the monk is just a naive fool, unreliable. Sir, are you still hiring? Just say the word. I will go through fire and water for you. Han Li, get lost. The viewers in the live stream were enjoying the spectacle immensely. Money brings joy. This is the truth. It felt almost like a novel. Faces slapping left and right. Han, the truth is out. I am a tycoon. Let us just enjoy it. What a loud noise. What is it? Oh, it seems someone just got slapped in the face. Ling Han gazed at the substantial sum of money. Mr. Han, what can I do for you? Chapter 31. Come. My brother, let me show you how to snag a luxury car with empty hands. Splendid. First, prepare a meal for me. Mr. Han, is it really just that? Han Li replied earnestly. Actually, I have never learned to cook. Ling Han was bewildered. So, the 15,000 tip was merely in exchange for cooking a meal? What a joke. He was almost ready to offer himself up. And this is all there is? Mr. Han, your thought process is truly unique. Ling Han felt as though he had joined forces with a rather peculiar boss. Apologies. I am simply capricious. Ling Han casually prepared a bowl of egg fried rice. Initially worried that Han Li might not like it, but it turned out that Mr. Han was not picky at all. Wow, this egg fried rice is quite well done. Ling Han called his own boss to briefly explain the situation. I'm quitting, got it. Without waiting for a response, he hung up. Mr. Han, what shall we do next? Han Li wore an enigmatic smile. It seems I need to introduce you to our company's operations. There's even a company. Impressive. By the way, do you have a driver's license? Yes. Excellent. From now on, you will be responsible for driving me. Ling Han suddenly realized that being a chauffeur for the boss was indeed a viable option. Mr. Han, where is our car? He inquired. Currently, we have no vehicle. Came the reply. No car? Then how can I be a chauffeur? Han Li cast him a confident glance. However, in a moment, we shall acquire a luxury car. What do you mean? Han Li led the bewildered Ling Han into an unoccupied men's restroom. Mr. Han, what are you planning to do? Undress, quickly. Ah, is the boss this forward? Han Li promptly began to remove his clothing in front of Ling Han. What the hell? You actually enjoy this? Ling Han exclaimed, clearly misunderstanding the situation. What are you thinking? Here, put this on. Hand me your clothes, Han Li said, passing his expensive suit to Ling Han. Although Ling Han was perplexed by his intentions, he complied and removed his own attire. The two exchanged garments. How does it fit? Ling Han remarked, feeling the luxurious fabric for the first time. Isn't it exquisite? It feels so different, so comfortable. But why am I wearing such an expensive suit? Han Li raised a finger to his lips. Shoo, no questions, it's part of the plan. Ling Han found Han Li increasingly inscrutable. Take this briefcase and these glasses. Put them on. Moments later, Ling Han transformed from an ordinary intermediary into the elite secretary of a major corporation. Indeed, one's appearance can elevate one's presence. Meanwhile, Han Li, once a distinguished gentleman, had now donned shabby attire, resembling a disheveled youth. Not bad, it fits you well. This suit is yours. What? No, Mr. Han. This clothing is far too valuable. Upon hearing that he was being gifted such an expensive suit, Ling Han became flustered. His grandmother had always told him that one should not accept favors without merit. Absolutely not, Mr. Han. I have principles. Ling Han stood his ground. Han Li admired his stubbornness. Accept it as a work outfit from the company. You will need it shortly. He adjusted Ling Han's tie, nodding in satisfaction. A work outfit? Which company employs staff who dress better than their bosses? Ling Han was bewildered, yet deeply impressed. The audience, however, was less than pleased. Dressed better than me, the boss? What the hell? Han, just say the word, and I'll resign, not for the money, but to be your right-hand man. Brother, I'm calling you brother now. Take me under your wing. The audience exclaimed, he giving away a suit worth thousands so casually. Mr. Han treats his subordinates better than my own mother. Han Li surveyed Ling Han, impeccably dressed in the tailored suit and glasses, exuding the air of a corporate elite. Ling Han, as long as you work diligently by my side, luxury cars and beautiful women will be mere trifles. Overwhelmed with excitement, Ling Han declared, I am committed to serving you. Mr. Han, look at his enthusiasm. Han Li thought, chuckling inwardly despite the grandiose promises he had just made. Ah, young man. Have you never heard the adage that one cannot expect pie to fall from the sky? In this world, everything has its price. The reason he insisted on dressing Ling Han in his bespoke suit was certainly not due to his own extravagance. Han Li needed to present him as a paragon of corporate elite, for this was a crucial element of the scheme. In recent news, the higher-ups at the Futian Group, following a series of unfortunate events, have assured the public that they will conduct unscheduled inspections of their 4S dealerships, taking any issues with utmost seriousness. Han Li gazed at this announcement, a wicked smile creeping across his face. Next, he would visit the 4S dealership to pull off a grand scheme, orchestrating a feat of deception to acquire luxury vehicles without expenditure. Fraud, indeed, is a serious endeavor for me, Han Li, should fortune favor him. Ling Han would inevitably be deemed his accomplice, compelled to join his ranks, 2 birds with 1 stone. Off to the 4S dealership we go. Yes. Poor Ling Han remained blissfully unaware that he was treading a path he had never envisioned. They arrived at the opposite 4S dealership, filled with opulent cars of every conceivable model. It was a paradise of extravagance. Wait for me here. I'll call you in shortly, Han Li instructed. Yes, Mr. Han. Han Li entered the dealership alone, catching the attention of a female salesperson. Upon glimpsing his face, her heart raced, but upon noticing his shabby attire, her enthusiasm was deflated, as if struck by a vehicle. Sir, are you here to look at cars? She asked, her tone devoid of warmth, lacking even a professional smile. It was clear she looked down on Han Li's modest appearance. Unfazed, he responded with a smile. Indeed, I am just here to browse. Humph. Another one looking to enjoy the air conditioning, she thought, growing increasingly dismissive. We have many cars, feel free to peruse. I have a particular fondness for luxury vehicles, he remarked, prompting her to lead him to the premium section. Wow, is this a Lamborghini? He exclaimed, his awe evident. The salesperson regarded Han Li with growing disdain, her expression darkening. Sir, this is our latest model, the Lamborghini 422, priced at $5,600,000. She declared, emphasizing the price as if to imply. Can you afford this? Perhaps you should take your leave. Feigning ignorance, Han Li pointed at the luxurious automobile with feigned delight. I quite like this model. May I take it for a test drive outside? The salesperson was taken aback. Other staff members paused, casting incredulous glances. He wishes to test drive? What the actual? This is a car worth millions. You haven't even paid, and you want to take it out for a spin? Are you serious? Is he out of his mind? He must be some country bumpkin. Just look at his attire. What gives him such confidence? Surrounding staff and customers began to mock Han Li for his apparent lack of awareness. Sensing the moment was right, Han Li discreetly messaged Ling Han outside. Come quickly. The female salesperson, feeling quite helpless, was about to decline when suddenly, at the entrance of the 4S shop, Ling Han pushed open the door and hurriedly rushed in. Upon seeing his expensive attire, everyone was momentarily taken aback. A scion of a wealthy family. Why are they all looking at me? Ling Han, carrying his briefcase, walked directly to Han Li's side amidst the gazes of onlookers, exclaiming loudly, Mr. Han. Everyone gasped in astonishment. Did he truly just address that rustic general manager? Shoo. How many times must I say it? Do not call me the general manager right now. We are conducting a covert investigation. Han Li whispered closely, though his gaze remained fixed on the store manager behind them. Ling Han, the manager, who had witnessed the entire scene, overheard their hushed exchange, causing his heart to race. Covert investigation? Something feels off. Chapter 32. What should I do? They really think I'm the general manager. Can I test drive? Han Li asked again. He referred to him as general manager? What kind of general manager dresses so shabbily? Clearly a fraud. The female salesperson flatly refused. I'm sorry, sir, but our latest Lamborghini does not allow for test drives, and there is no such thing as just taking a quick spin. If you do not intend to purchase, I will have to ask security to escort you out. Security. 2 burly security guards approached Han Li's sides, their fists cracking ominously. Sir, if you cause a disturbance, please leave, or be wary of my iron fist. How do you know I want to pay? Is he not just here to enjoy the air conditioning? This guy is serious. Please, this is not a vegetable market. Do you think you can buy a cabbage here? Dressed in rags worth less than 200. He dreams of purchasing a car worth millions. The crowd was speechless. Surely, this fellow was just here for amusement. The viewers in the live stream grew increasingly puzzled. Oh my, has Mr. Han's criminal career met its first defeat? What could possibly be the significance of Mr. Han's actions? Is he merely making a fool of himself for others to laugh at? Shoo, don't ask. This is all part of the plan. Saleswoman, you've narrowed your path. The female salesperson, holding her forehead, thought to herself that this person must indeed take a test drive before making a decision. Who knows if he could even drive off? Please escort this gentleman out. She was too weary to waste her breath. He was clearly a troublemaker. Just as all the customers awaited Han Li's folly, a voice intervened to halt the unfolding chaos. The mail store manager approached, smiling at Han Li. Sir, please hold on a moment while we discuss this. Xiao Wang, please take this gentleman to the lounge. The staff were astonished. The usually stern-faced manager was being so courteous to this individual. What was happening? You come here. The female salesperson was summoned, and she questioned in confusion. Manager, what are you doing? That guy is just a fraud. That's why you will never become a manager in your life, he replied. Let me ask you, don't you find this man to be quite unusual? The female salesperson? The manager took out his phone and showed her the latest news from the Futian group that morning. Did you notice that the senior executives of the group conduct surprise inspections on the affiliated 4S stores from time to time, and even we, the store managers, are unaware of their arrival? The female salesperson expressed her confusion. However, she quickly realized and exclaimed in astonishment. Are you saying he is a senior executive sent from above? No way. Someone like him. The store manager pointed to Han Li, who was seated and resting, and remarked, don't you find that customer's demeanor quite extraordinary? With this observation, it became apparent. Han Li's words and actions, upon closer inspection, were indeed distinct from those of ordinary individuals. The person beside him, clad in an expensive suit and glasses worth several tens of thousands, was referred to as the boss. Isn't that rather peculiar? If he truly is a senior executive, why is he dressed so modestly? The female salesperson, perplexed, questioned, shouldn't a person of such high status be adorned in luxury, seeking to maintain an image? The male store manager, appearing wise beyond his years, shook his head and replied, the brilliance lies in his humble attire. Think about it. If a senior executive is conducting a surprise inspection, the more low-key and inconspicuous they are, the better. What matters is authenticity. The female salesperson felt a chill of realization, pondering whether they should allow him to test drive a vehicle. Of course. Do you have any sense? That is a senior executive. Luxury cars are not purchased casually. He is testing our service attitude. All right, I shall go at once. The male store manager calculated his own prospects, reflecting that they had narrowly avoided disaster this time. As long as they served this senior executive well, his future would be boundless. The female salesperson approached Han Li, completely shedding her previous arrogance, and humbly stated, I apologize, sir, for my earlier rudeness. You may test drive the car immediately. Please follow me. The other customers, initially anticipating a spectacle, were now astonished. What? Has this salesperson lost her mind? She actually agreed? Has the store manager lost his sense? Is he not afraid of losing the car? Han Li seemed to have anticipated this turn of events. Everything was under his control. The live stream was ablaze with excitement. I told you, with President Han's stature. How could he simply pay? Once this car is in President Han's possession, it is surely gone. Han Li remarked, hey, you said it. Well, once the car is sold, 5 million will be in hand. Is money this easy to earn? Hey, my friends, I can't talk any longer. I have just arrived at the 4S store entrance. Follow my lead with President Han. Impressive, President Han, I admire you. Sir, here are the car keys. The female salesperson reluctantly presented the keys to the luxury car with both hands. Just when everyone was envious, Han Li did not accept them. Instead, he instructed Ling Han, who was nearby, to retrieve a piece of paper and a pen from his briefcase. What is your name? The female salesperson, thinking she was receiving a commendation, happily responded. My name is Zhang Cuihua, sir. Han Li wrote a few words on the paper and handed it to her. Congratulations, you have been dismissed from the company. What? The female salesperson was momentarily stunned. Dismissed? Everyone else was equally bewildered. Was he not a customer? Han Li pointed at the female salesperson in front of the other staff and stated, you yourself mentioned that this luxury car is of considerable value. Yet you dared to allow a customer to test drive it. I ask you, what are the company's regulations? Had the materials provided during the previous training been fed to the dogs? Han Li suddenly adopted a serious demeanor, his gaze sharp and tinged with indignation. The Shadow Emperor was activated. In an instant, everyone present felt as though they were in the presence of a corporate titan. Speak up. What if I were to drive off with the vehicle or scratch it? Can you bear the responsibility for the loss of company property? In a flash, the female salesperson was taken aback. She began to wail, President, I was wrong. The staff were well aware that the higher-ups from the company had been making sporadic surprise visits to various branches, yet they never anticipated such a low-key approach. Your gravest mistake was failing to maintain a proper attitude of service. Regardless of whether a customer intends to purchase a vehicle, they deserve warmth and attentiveness. If you turn a cold shoulder simply because a customer is modestly dressed, what will the public think of our company's image? The entire staff felt a jolt of fear. The tone, the demeanor, the aura. None dared to question his authority. Secretary Ling, report to headquarters. Tomorrow, we shall publicly reprimand this branch's employees. Hearing about the impending reprimand, the staff were left dumbfounded. Is the president serious? How ruthless. Ling Han was oblivious to the implications, simply nodding in agreement. Yes. Han Li commanded, "Manager, accompany me." Yes. The manager scurried over, not daring to voice any dissent. Everyone was convinced that Han Li was indeed a high-ranking official conducting a surprise inspection. Wasn't President Han just a customer? How had he transformed into the president so suddenly? What a masterful deception. Oh no, have I become a substitute? Chapter 33. Is this really happening? Han Li closed the door, but not entirely, ensuring that his voice could be heard from outside. Then, with an expression of outrage, he berated the male manager. How could you make such a mistake? What kind of manager are you? And how did such an employee even get hired? Have you lost your mind? The employees outside were terrified by the stern reprimand. It was undoubtedly the president. Look at that. Once overbearing, the manager could barely lift his head. Manager, you understand what you need to do, correct? Han Li pounded on the table, fully embodying the role of a ruthless corporate president reprimanding a subordinate. Oh, I understand. The male manager replied. I will go reprimand them. What? Should I call my grandfather to come over? The manager cautiously inquired. Han Li shook his head repeatedly, sighing. It was no wonder his subordinates behaved so poorly. This manager was utterly hopeless. Let me give you a proper lesson. Before long, all the employees gathered together, and Han Li took the lead in addressing them. In a situation like the one we just encountered, what would you do if a customer like me insisted on test driving a vehicle? A confident employee stood up. This is not a question that deserves a response, of course. I would refuse. What if he drives away with the vehicle or damages it? Such actions would undoubtedly harm the company. But what if he is the CEO of a prominent corporation? The employees fell silent. Indeed, if the individual in question happens to be the CEO of a large company, rejecting him could tarnish the company's reputation. I ask you all, after selling a vehicle to a client, do you record all pertinent information about them? The employees remained silent. Who thinks to keep track of such details after a sale? Do you see? This is precisely your current dilemma, the absence of crucial information about significant clients. In this day and age, information is everything. This reasoning is surprisingly compelling. The employees unwittingly began to engage. Within 10 minutes, they gathered all vital information about important clients. Do you understand? Yes. With a single command from Han Li, all employees rose, their voices resounding. As long as you work diligently, promotions, salary increases, and housing will be assured. I can guarantee it. For the sake of the company, we shall dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly. Over time, I expect you to work diligently. The enthusiasm ignited among the employees was palpable. The store manager observed them, invigorated as if they had been given a shot of adrenaline. Such a transformation in just 10 minutes was beyond anything he had ever imagined. Truly, he is a remarkable leader. The audience in the live stream was equally astonished. Wow, President Han is quite the showman, isn't he? It feels eerily reminiscent of a pyramid scheme presentation. Han Li remarked, just drawing the big picture is enough. Goodness. This has infiltrated the organization. To an outsider, it could easily be mistaken for a motivational rally. Incredible. Han Li sat on the sofa, sipping tea and nonchalantly spitting. With his legs crossed, he epitomized a leader's demeanor. What is your name? The male store manager humbly replied, President, my name is Li Tao. Ah, Li. I suspect your recent promotions have not gone as planned, correct? The store manager was taken aback. How could he possibly know? How did you figure that out? It's obvious. With your mindset, it would be surprising if the company promoted you. Han Li silently scoffed while maintaining a facade of gentleness. My earlier admonishments were for your benefit. Have you not discerned my intentions? I have been keeping an eye on you. Are you suggesting that you wish to promote me? The store manager's eyes brightened. Han Li whispered, Shoo, just keep this between us. Later, give me your employee ID, and I will have a new one issued for you. This signals a promotion. Thank you for considering my advancement. Here, this is my employee card. The store manager, elated, immediately handed over the ID. The live stream erupted with excitement. First, a reprimand, then a reward. What an impressive maneuver. Wait, could President Han be heading to their headquarters? It makes my scalp tingle. How on earth did this individual become a store manager? If this is how things are done, I could do it too. Han Li secured the store manager's internal employee credentials and glanced at his watch. Time was not on his side. It was time for me to conduct an unannounced inspection at the next location. Indeed, a recent con artist has set their sights on our company. So you must exercise caution. At the previous establishment I visited, I encountered an individual masquerading as a high-ranking executive, who deceitfully swindled the store manager out of hundreds of thousands. The manager felt a chill run down his spine upon hearing this, but fortunately, our CEO arrived just in time. Otherwise, he too might have fallen victim to the ruse. Rest assured, I shall keep this matter at the forefront of my mind. Ding ding ding. I must take this call. Han Li retrieved his phone and answered in front of the store manager. Hello? Xiaohan. What? The car's tire has burst? It seems it cannot be driven. What on earth are you doing? Beep beep beep. Ling Han responded, What car? Aren't we here to purchase one? I don't understand. Why is the CEO scolding me? Upon hearing that the CEO's tire had burst, the male store manager inquired, Is the car broken? Yes, never mind. Let's just take a taxi. How could a distinguished CEO take a taxi? The store manager interjected firmly, This simply won't do. Here, take that latest luxury car for now. Isn't that inappropriate? Han Li replied. Oh, we are all part of the same family. What is mine is yours. Han Li smiled and patted the store manager's shoulder. Indeed, no wonder others in the company say you, Xiao Li, possess the highest level of awareness. I can see it. Ha ha ha. It is all due to the CEO's appreciation. The store manager respectfully escorted Han Li outside, personally handing him the keys to the luxury car. Hey, everyone come out to bid farewell to the CEO. You all are such a handful. Han Li grasped the store manager's hand, encouragingly saying, well done. I find you increasingly agreeable. You have a bright future ahead. The male store manager bowed, proclaiming, I bid farewell to the CEO and wish you all the best. All the employees lined up to bow in respect as they bid Han Li farewell. All right, everyone return and focus on your work. Han Li tossed the keys of the luxury car to the bewildered Ling Han. What are you standing there for? Drive. Ling Han exclaimed, what the heck? This luxury car is just for us. The viewers in the live stream were left utterly astonished. Oh, this person has deceived internal credentials and effortlessly made off with a luxury car. How impressive. What a twist that a con artist is warning others to beware of scams. Truly, it is like a small blade cutting through ignorance. My mother and I, after witnessing this, knelt down in awe, praising Seo Han forever. The store manager exclaimed, hee, I am due for a promotion. How splendid. Incredible. CEO Han has truly mastered the art of deception. Officer, come quickly. This fellow has gone too far. Not long after Han Li's departure, a middle-aged man, exuding confidence and holding an extravagant wallet, stepped out of a car. He approached the entrance of the 4S store. His name was Wang Dabo, a high-ranking official from the Futian Group. He was there to inspect the operations of the stores under his umbrella. Greetings. I am a senior executive from the group, here to inspect the store. The male store manager was taken aback. Could this be the very con artist the CEO spoke of? You are an executive? Indeed. Have you just finished inspecting another establishment? How do you know that? Isn't the company's information confidential? Precisely. The store manager pulled out his phone. Hello, officer. I have apprehended a con artist. Ah, a con artist. Where? Wang Dabao's was astounded. How dare someone attempt to deceive his company? Were they courting death? The crowd turned their attention towards him. Wang Dabao's exclaimed, me? How on earth have I become a swindler? I am not a fraudster. Despite his protests, he was met with hostility. Seize him. Chapter 34, in 5 minutes. Deceived 10 million. At that moment, Han Li, seated in his vehicle, addressed the camera, esteemed viewers, prepare yourselves for a masterclass in deception. In 5 minutes, I shall acquire 10 million. The audience in the live stream erupted in disbelief. 5 minutes for 10 million? That is utterly preposterous, Han. I refuse to believe it. Anyone can boast. Han, have you become arrogant? Do you think we are all fools? He first produced the internal access card belonging to the store manager and, utilizing the employee ID, successfully infiltrated the inner workings of the Futian Group. Then, employing a multifunctional mobile device, he hacked into the company's internal system. Posing as the CEO, he sent a message in the large group chat of store managers, accompanied by a link. Dear all, due to the recent surge in fraud, I require everyone to click the link below and download the National Anti-Fraud Center app. Please take this matter seriously. A store manager, is this for real? B store manager, it's true. I just caught someone impersonating the CEO. We're waiting for the police. C store manager, what? Such audacity. D store manager, I'm downloading it right now. I'm terrified. Han Li set his phone down and waited in silence. Unbeknownst to him, for minutes had elapsed. The audience in the live stream began to voice their skepticism. Didn't you say 5 minutes? 4 minutes have already gone by. Han, can you deliver? I thought you would showcase some extraordinary skill, yet you are just having us download an anti-fraud app? This is going to backfire. However, in the next instant, Han Li's phone chimed with notifications. Received 500,000. Received 1,600,000. Received 200,000. A continuous stream of notifications flooded in. The audience in the live stream gasped, what on earth? My water meter doesn't even move this fast. 5 million in 5 minutes. It's truly 10 million. Oh, this is astonishing. How did he accomplish this? Viewers exclaimed, oh, the pain. My face aches. I was wrong to doubt you, Han. I too am a fraudster. Do you accept apprentices? My friends are eagerly awaiting your culinary skills. Han Li replied, the Anti-Fraud Center app once sent is indeed legitimate, but the link was modified by me. Once the target clicks the link and completes the download, it captures their account credentials and automatically transfers the funds to my specified account. The audience in the live stream gasped in awe. We revere you, great master. I had forgotten that Han is a hacker. After watching this live stream, I shall never click on unfamiliar links again. Someone, please end my life to celebrate Han's triumph. Not only that, Han Li also took the opportunity to transfer the information of various company executives collaborating with the Futian Group onto his phone. Among them, he circled the name of a wealthy woman. After exchanging his findings with the production team for a reward, Han Li dialed the official contact number of the Futian Group. The call was quickly connected. Customer service. Hello, how may I assist you? Han Li, I just deceived your company out of 10 million. Customer service? Han Li, I am now returning the 10 million. Please inform your executives to enhance their fraud prevention measures. Also, your security system is utterly inadequate. It was compromised in 3 minutes. I hope this lesson will prompt a thorough review. Customer service. We have reported this information, and the headquarters will bolster preventive awareness to avert similar incidents in the future. The management expresses gratitude for your fraudulent act, as it has revealed internal vulnerabilities that will be addressed. Hanli, no problem. It's the least I could do. Wait, is there no shame in this? Who was the fool that got scammed? Wang Defa. This is utterly ridiculous. To deceive someone in front of them and then return the money while expecting gratitude. How absurd. What does education mean? What is their educational program? This is the true model. Congratulations, host, for completing your first fraud. Reward skill. Here, SA brick for you. Here, SA brick for you. No matter how skilled one is, they fear a brick. A sneak attack is bound to stun the opponent. Hanli, what kind of absurd skill is this? Meanwhile, the production team was leveraging Han Li's case to promote anti-fraud measures extensively. Just moments ago, Han Li had effortlessly swindled 10 million from a major corporation within 5 minutes, ringing alarm bells and urging citizens to promptly download the Chinese Anti-Fraud Center app to avoid falling victim. The host immediately downloaded the app, genuinely frightened. Audience, is this for real? I'm downloading it right now. Soon, the Chinese Anti-Fraud Center app became a sensation. The news of Han Li's 5-minute 10 million scam went viral. In the major crimes unit, Wang Zhigua inquired about the status of the case involving the Futian executive and the store manager. Wang Lang replied, "Report, it was all a misunderstanding. However, due to the staff's aggressive approach, the executive has been hospitalized." Wang Zhigua sighed, rubbing his temples. Han Li was becoming increasingly audacious. Now he was resorting to fraud. Goodness, is he expanding his business? 10 million in 5 minutes. Who would believe that? By the way, Yin Qing has acted independently. Are you not concerned? Wang Zhigua shook his head. It's fine. She knows her limits. I heard there's an upcoming international police exchange conference, and the police from M country have chosen our location for their drills. Is that true? Wang Lang had heard this news from others. The International Police Exchange Conference is an annual drill, ostensibly a friendly exercise, but in reality, it serves to assess the capabilities of various nations' police forces. Consequently, every country is keenly watching, eager to prove that their police are the most formidable. Historically, Huaxiao has consistently ranked second, often mocked by the first-place M country. Indeed, last night, the police chief from the M country arrived at the airport, and it is anticipated that he will reach here in the next couple of days. Director Jiang emphasized that this rehearsal is of utmost significance, as it pertains to the dignity of our great nation. And the matter concerning Han Li can be temporarily set aside. We must triumph over M country. Wang Lang's gaze was resolute, brimming with determination. He had long harbored a desire to avenge this grievance. After handing over the vehicle to the arriving production team, Han Li intended to purchase some food for Ling Han. At that moment, a frail man wearing a tall hat approached him with his head bowed. Suddenly, bang. The man collided directly with Han Li. I'm sorry. The man quickly apologized and walked away. It's fine. However, after taking a few steps, Han Li sensed something was amiss. He reached into his pocket and discovered it was empty. Damn, where's my phone? Chapter 35, The King of Thieves? Did he consult me, the ancestor? Han Li turned to look at the man who had bumped into him. What the heck? Has he really stolen from me? How amusing. Am I a thief? How could I let such a petty thief bully me? Stop. Han Li rushed forward and seized the man. Return my phone. What phone? You must be mistaken. I didn't take your phone. The man protested, attempting to break free, only to find Han Li possessed an astonishing strength. Do you believe I would take you to the police station right now? The young man, terrified, began to cry. Brother, I was wrong. It's my first time, please spare me. Fine, I'll take back my phone, and you can keep the 500 on you. The man reached into his pocket, his eyes suddenly widening. Empty. Hey, where's my phone? Where did my money go? It's all gone. Han Li raised an eyebrow, revealing a mischievous grin. Are you referring to this? He then produced his phone before the man, shaking it slightly. But that wasn't all. He also retrieved a wallet, a watch, and a crystal necklace, along with a designer lipstick. You've stolen quite a bit, haven't you? The man was utterly astonished as he watched Han Li pull out item after item of his loot. What the hell? Why is all my stuff with him? What has transpired? The audience in the live stream found it hilarious. This is too funny. Han, you dare to steal? Isn't this giving it away for free? Han Li smirked. My friend, by lineage, you ought to refer to me as your ancestor. The thief thought, this is bad. He is a master. As Han Li organized the items, he declared, you, with such unsteady hands, I shall keep these items safe for you. The thief, bewildered, retorted, what the hell? How can you be so self-righteous? Tell me, do you have accomplices? To steal so much on these streets, you must be a seasoned criminal familiar with this area. The man was visibly frightened now, genuinely apprehensive of Han Li's profound skills. Senior, there are rules among thieves. This isn't quite right, is it? Han Li responded with a slap. Who do you think you are calling me senior? Which eye of yours perceives me as a thief? Let me inform you that though I am in plain clothes, my true identity is that of a police chief. Thief, are you trying to deceive me? Damn it. With your thieving skills, I would believe you were a master burglar. You claim to be an inspector? Which inspector would take the time to learn such nefarious skills? Ridiculous. The live stream exploded with laughter. Ha ha ha, General Han is impressive, unmatched. This is absurd. The inspector is more skilled than the thief. It's laughable. Thief, do you think I'm a fool? Observing the disbelief on this individual's face, Han suddenly had a brilliant idea. Look at this. He opened his coat. Holy cow, it's a gun. The thief nearly knelt in fear, unaware that this was actually a specially made prop gun with no live ammunition. Now do you believe? Officer, I believe. I believe. Just put the gun away. Be careful not to discharge it. Hanli, answer me. Do you have a gang? Yes, there are over 10 of us. Scattered across various areas, stealing from passers-by. After we finish, we return to our hideout to divide the spoils, and whoever steals the most becomes the king of thieves. What? There's a den of thieves? A thief king? Did anyone consult me, the master burglar? Kid, I'm offering you a chance for redemption, if you cooperate. I can guarantee a reduced sentence. How about it? Hanli suddenly conceived a clever plan. Since it's a den of thieves, there must be a considerable amount of money, right? This time, I will orchestrate a black market scheme. The thief was taken aback. Betraying his brothers? How could that be acceptable? In this line of work, it's all about loyalty. This is unacceptable. There are rules in this trade. Betraying your brothers is a grave taboo. Hanli revealed the firearm. Are you certain? Actually, I wish to be a good person. Give me a chance, officer. The audience in the live stream erupted in laughter. Seriously, is this a scene from an undercover operation? The concept of loyalty is so fragile. Thief, at that moment. The gun was aimed at me. I was terrified. In this line of work, it's all about betrayal. In a dilapidated alley, the officer, this is the place, soon. The others should arrive. The man led Hanli to their secret hideout. This hideout is so concealed. Goodness, under normal circumstances, it would be nearly impossible to discover. You've done well. Hee. Then, Hanli picked up a brick nearby and struck down. Bang. The thief's eyes sparkled as he collapsed to the ground. I'll borrow your face for a moment. 10 minutes later, Hanli donned a high hat, disguising himself as this thief, even adopting a sleazy demeanor. He looked exactly like him. He approached the rusted door deep within. He knocked. A pair of eyes suddenly appeared, scrutinizing him. Old dog, you're back? Hanli nodded. Now he resembled old dog. Come in. Once inside, everyone was instructed to place their phones into a bag to avoid any unfortunate incidents. Old dog, you're at the bottom again this month. Be careful not to get kicked out. Cough, cough, I understand. The man glanced at him without further thought. As they walked, they arrived at a dilapidated house. This is incredibly concealed. It's no wonder they're a criminal gang. Although the house appeared run down, it was, in fact, a place of hidden treasures. There are several courtyards capable of accommodating a considerable number of individuals. Many people are eagerly anticipating the events to unfold, and it appears that they are all pickpockets. Astonishingly, General Han has infiltrated the inner circle. It seems he had a guide. Otherwise, he would never have found this place. Humph, these thieves are truly cunning, hiding themselves so well. What could General Han possibly be doing here? Surely he does not aspire to become the king of thieves? Unthinkable. I suspect General Han is preparing for a significant move. At this moment, more individuals are entering the courtyard. Damn it, my luck today is terrible. I've only managed to steal 3,000 yuan. I heard that old five got caught. How could someone with such exceptional skills be apprehended? Apparently, he watched some crime show and learned from a fellow named Hanli, who audaciously attempted to steal a police officer's gun. Can you believe it? This is madness. It's not Hanli, it's General Han. My master, the former king of thieves, would weep at the sight of Hanli's methods. What a shame he doesn't pursue thievery. Hanli declared, now that everyone is here, we can begin. The crowd stirred with anticipation. To become the king of thieves means not only to command the loyalty of others, but also to enjoy the spoils of their labor. What bliss! A scarred man with short hair stepped forward and proclaimed, as per our usual custom, the one who steals the most this month shall be crowned the king of thieves. I have stolen from 134 individuals this month, he announced. The crowd gasped in astonishment. Is that truly so? The accumulated items, gestures, and cash amounted to approximately 350,000 yuan. Goodness, 350,000. Everyone inhaled sharply, taken aback by his terrifying prowess. His skills are unparalleled. Most in the crowd felt a sense of resignation. After all, who doesn't know the reputation of the master thief, Li Er? Yet, they did not expect to be so utterly outclassed. It seems that this month's king of thieves will undoubtedly be him. Li Er, I salute you. 134 thefts, what dedication. I am in awe. When crowned king of thieves, remember to look after your brothers. The crowd lavished praise upon Li Er, as if the outcome were already decided. Li Er clasped his hands and smiled. It appears that everyone supports me. I do not. A sudden voice interrupted, startling the audience. Hanli stepped forward, addressing Li Er with a smile. I am the true king of thieves. You are unworthy. Has this man lost his mind? What audacity! Li Er regarded the old dog below with disdain. Very well, let us compare our skills. Chapter 36. Leave no one behind. Arrest them all. The crowd initially thought a formidable character was approaching, but it turned out to be the least successful thief, the old dog. An uproar ensued. Old dog, cease your nonsense and return to your place. Have you no shame? What right do you have to compete with Li Er? Dream on. Take him away. He.S. worthless. Insults flew left and right. Old dog. How dare you challenge me when you are at the bottom? Lier scoffed, too lazy to even raise a hand. Han Li casually remarked, are you afraid? Afraid? Lier's blood pressure shot up. However, out of respect for his fellow brothers, he refrained from acting rashly and instead feigned a demeanor of magnanimity. You are not mistaken. Everyone is entitled to vie for the title of Thief King. Since you overestimate your capabilities, I shall indulge you. The old dog declared, according to the rules, let us see who can steal more. Very well, you have my word. Han Li responded with remarkable composure, beginning to produce item after item. Initially, the onlookers regarded the spectacle with amusement, thinking, what can a mere waste of space possibly steal? Yet, as Han Li continued to reveal an increasing array of possessions, some spectators began to feel uneasy. Hey, why does that bag seem so familiar? One remarked, perplexed. Strange. Is he using a magical pouch, producing items endlessly? That's at least dozens of items. The crowd fixated on the items Han Li unveiled, each growing more recognizable. One man anxiously patted his pocket. To his shock, he exclaimed, by heavens, my belongings have been stolen. Laughter erupted. Huh? You fool. You couldn't even keep track of this much. My things are missing too. More and more thieves began to shriek in despair as their pilfered possessions inexplicably vanished. What the devil? The thief has been robbed. This is absurd. Isn't that the ring I stole? How could it be in the old dog's hands? It's him. He.S. the one who took our things. The crowd turned their gaze toward Han Li, a mixture of terror, anger, and shame reflected in their eyes. How curious. It wasn't stated that one couldn't steal from one's own kind, Han Li remarked with a playful tilt of his head. Ah, it appears that was indeed not mentioned. An elderly man stepped forward, chuckling. My friends, you seasoned veterans have been so skillfully outmaneuvered by a mere junior. Perhaps you should consider taking a leap of faith. It's the former Thief King. The crowd gasped in unison. Indeed, we are experienced hands, yet we fell victim to this old dog-esque cunning. Furthermore, it had occurred without a whisper. Upon reflection, that is indeed chilling. One exclaimed, goodness, I didn't even notice when he made his move. This fellow is alarmingly formidable. What level of mastery does he possess? At that moment, the crowd's gaze toward the old dog shifted dramatically, filled with astonishment and disbelief. The audience in the live stream erupted in excitement. Indeed, what does it matter if Han steals from ordinary folks? If he is going to steal, let it be from his peers. Now, that is the essence of the Thief King, engaging in exhilarating pursuits. Thief, let me tell you a joke. I've been robbed. Laughter ensued. What a slap in the face. Have you ever encountered a master thief? Han Li replied, I apologize. I didn't mean to insult you. I meant to imply that everyone present here is beneath me. Although Han Li had pilfered from the crowd, by the rules, those stolen goods rightfully belonged to him. The total amassed to a staggering 520,000. The crowd was utterly unprepared for this unexpected twist, as he unleashed his might. On the stage, Lier could no longer remain passive, witnessing his claim to the title of Thief King slipping away. How could he accept such a fate? He stepped forward, declaring, if you wish to be the Thief King, you must earn my respect. Han Li casually tossed a pair of floral shorts. Lier's expression turned to one of horror. Isn't that my pair of shorts? No wonder I felt a draft. Are you convinced now, master? I bow to you, Lier. The crowd gasped in astonishment. Could it be true? He could even steal his own underwear? My apologies, everyone. But your skills pale in comparison to mine. The onlookers gazed at Han Li with fervent admiration, none daring to voice dissent. Lier, in particular, displayed utmost respect. He knew such divine abilities were beyond his own capability. Old dog, I have no objections to you being the king of thieves. I shall serve you faithfully. Han Li clasped his fists in gratitude. I am honored by your recognition. As the newly appointed king of thieves, I shall impart a free lesson to you all. Once you master this technique, no shackles shall ever bind you. Is that really true? You must be boasting. Bind my hands with iron chains as tightly as you can. Very well, king of thieves. Soon, Han Li's hands were ensnared in iron chains, wrapped around multiple times. Is this tight enough? It's almost reaching my pinky finger. Can it get any tighter? Moments later, Han Li was completely immobilized, his body entangled in chains. The crowd gasped in awe. He cannot possibly escape from this. Han Li stiffly raised his densely bound hands, signaling for attention. Ladies and gentlemen, watch closely. Then, before their astonished eyes, Han Li twisted his body and moved his arms slightly. With a snap, the seemingly secure chains fell away, one by one. Is this sorcery? What just happened? The crowd was deeply shaken. This was no mere illusion. The chains, which seemed impossible to escape, had yielded to his slight movements. Even the gods would weep at such a display. I have no regrets in this life, the former king of thieves remarked, tears in his eyes. If we learn this skill, we shall fear no handcuffs in the future. Master, I want to learn. Teach me, but do not keep it a secret. They clamored eagerly. From now on, we shall follow your lead. Han Li smiled mischievously. Of course, we are all brothers here. Who will be the first? They rushed forward, as if attending a fan meeting. I want to go. Bind me tighter. I want to learn well. 10 minutes later. All right, this is the last one. In the courtyard, thieves lay sprawled on the ground, tightly bound by chains, each one ecstatic. Hurry, the flowers have wilted. It's so tight, but but I love it. They were thrilled at the prospect of mastering this skill, feeling invincible against any authority henceforth. Master, we truly mean it. Their heartfelt cries echoed. Then, in front of everyone, Han Li gathered all the stolen goods, packed them up, and departed without looking back. The crowd was left bewildered. What just happened? Wasn't he supposed to teach us? Did he just run away? As he left the courtyard, Han Li dialed Wu Meng's number. How did he have Wu Meng's number, you ask? Don't inquire. It's merely part of the plan. Hello, who is this? It's me, Han Li. You scoundrel. How dare you come to humiliate me again? It is not my intention to boast, but I have indeed caught a thief. Just a few petty criminals, nothing to be overly impressed by. Yes, perhaps around 40 or so. What? 40 of them? Wu Meng, on the brink of death, widened his eyes in disbelief. Did you inadvertently stumble upon a den of thieves? Chapter 37. The criminal ranks second on the police chief's list. Can you believe it? Director Jiang stormed into Wang Zhigua's office, clutching a file in an agitated manner. Director Jiang, what brings you here? Jiang's expression was grim as he placed the file on the desk and stated, recently, theft incidents have surged unexpectedly. I am here to request an armed police team. Honestly, with the exchange meeting approaching, is this a deliberate attempt to undermine our police force? Wang Zhigua was taken aback by Jiang's rare display of anger and quickly picked up the file, eager to understand what had provoked such ire. The dense text detailed numerous theft cases, ranging from trivial sums to tens of thousands, nearly 100 incidents. Such audacity? Wang was left with a throbbing headache. It is well known that theft is among the most detestable crimes, as recovering stolen goods is often futile, leaving the police department to bear the financial burden. How disheartening. His expression turned contemplative, as he suspected that this recent uptick was the work of a gang. Indeed, it is rumored that this group is highly elusive. Several teams have struggled to locate them. The more Jiang pondered, the angrier he became. If the visiting delegation from Country M were to learn of this situation, it would be a disgrace to our Chinese police force. Absolutely unacceptable. This is an urgent matter. I will dispatch a team immediately. Wang, realizing the gravity of the situation, hastily prepared to make a call. Just then, the phone rang. Wang Zhigua answered. Hello, what is it? What? You say Han Li has caught thieves, over 40 of them. Jiang abruptly stood, his face a mask of shock. Wu Meng chuckled. Head, I suspect this is just another one of his elaborate tricks. That old rascal Han Li, so cunning, 40 thieves? Does he think they simply stood in place for him to apprehend? Even our police force lacks the capability to catch that many thieves in one go. Absolutely impossible. Wang Zhigua glanced at Director Jiang, who pondered for a moment before speaking. Han Li may merely be masquerading as a criminal, fundamentally still a good citizen. Since he has taken the initiative to report this, we should send someone to investigate. Wu Meng, gather your team and set off immediately. Wu Meng was taken aback. Captain, do you truly believe this? That rascal delights in deceiving others. We would surely fall for his trick. Wang Zhigua slammed the table. Are you instructing me on how to do my job? I will set off at once. Meanwhile, in another part of the courtyard, the group of thieves lying on the ground remained in a state of bewilderment. Did he call the police? I think he did. So, are the police coming? They exchanged glances, their small eyes reflecting immense confusion. Damn, who could have anticipated this? The newly appointed king of thieves has just delivered a backstab to the entire crew. What a farce. Oh, ancestral master, surely you are still here, right? This is merely a jest, isn't it? ISNT it. Enough of this nonsense. My comrades are nearly frightened out of their wits. Oh, ancestral master, please return. My brothers hold genuine affection for you. The elder of the former thief king sighed. It appears that, at this juncture, I must rely solely on myself. Indeed, there is still the former thief king. Escaping should be a breeze. Observe the art of my shrinking technique. Crack. The crowd heard a sharp sound. Elder, have you managed to escape? No, my back just gave out. The former thief king out. What a disaster. After so many years of reign, I find myself bested by my own kin. Damn it. I truly wish to slap myself. How foolish. A few staff members, witnessing the disarray within, glanced at Han Li, who had exchanged all the stolen goods for a reward, his face beaming with delight. What a lunatic. By the way, is little Zheng still in your team? One staff member replied. He resigned a while ago, saying he wanted to fully enjoy life and thank you for your support. Damn it. Now, it seems everyone in the production team desires to follow Han Li's lead and make a fortune, even risking their pensions. Eventually, the director could no longer bear it and prohibited the staff from interfering with the program, which finally brought some calm. The police chief will be arriving shortly. I have no business here. I shall take my leave. Just after Han Li departed, the police car arrived. Wu Mengfeng rushed out of the vehicle, yelling, "Where are those thieves?" In that courtyard, under the staff's guidance, Wu led his team into the courtyard. Initially, he had anticipated some form of resistance and was prepared to draw his weapon. However, he was mistaken. Observing the thieves squirming like worms, Wu Meng was taken aback. The officers were equally bewildered. Could it truly be that one person apprehended over 40 thieves? Captain, we have a problem. What? Are there still some that escaped? It's not that we lack personnel, we simply can't capture them all. Having served as a police chief for many years, Wu Meng had encountered numerous cases. Yet this was a first. Over 40 individuals. Even deploying 100 officers might not suffice. and Han Li managed to capture them all single-handedly? Make a call. Request that Captain Wang send more personnel immediately. Tell him there are too many thieves to handle. Understood. Director Jiang anxiously peered out the window, awaiting results. Han Li, do not deceive us, officers. Ring ring. It's here. Wang Zhigua answered the phone, hurriedly asking, what is the situation? Is it a hoax? Really? Over 40 thieves. All securely bound by chains? Yes, Captain, I was astounded. Even if they were 40 pigs, they wouldn't be so foolish. Listening to Wu Meng's report, Wang Zhigua's heart raced, leaving him somewhat flustered. He turned to Director Jiang and said, Han Li has infiltrated the thieves' den. Over 40 captured? Jiang inquired again, still incredulous. Captain Wang nodded vigorously. Indeed. Director Jiang rubbed his head, murmuring about the 40-plus individuals. Could it be that a single person subdued them? It seemed utterly absurd. Even crime dramas would hesitate to portray such a far-fetched scenario. A criminal, currently wanted by the police, managed to bewilderingly apprehend over 40 genuine offenders. Who would believe that? It was entirely irrational. Go, inquire with the staff about how Han Li managed to bind more than 40 individuals simultaneously. Director Jiang exclaimed with excitement. If their police department could learn from this, it would be tremendously advantageous for handling similar cases in the future. All right. I shall find out the details of Han Li's apprehension of the criminals. What? You mean to say these 40-plus individuals tied themselves up? Wang Zhigua and Jiang exchanged incredulous glances. Han Li almost became the king of thieves. As they listened to the unfolding tale, they were astounded. Director Jiang, should we commend Han Li? Wang Zhigua found himself in a dilemma. It must be noted that Han Li was, after all, a criminal himself. There were two sides to every story. What occurred on the show was one matter, and reality was another. Comrade Han Li performed admirably this time. He certainly deserved recognition. Let us not forget, the show's original intent was to eradicate criminal behavior, and portraying a criminal who captured real offenders could not serve as better publicity. Indeed. I shall take immediate action. This news must reach the entire city. The following day, as the audience awoke to watch the program, a news segment repeatedly aired. Enthusiastic citizen Han Li single-handedly apprehended over 40 thieves yesterday, alleviating concerns for the police and contributing to a better society. The police have decided to bestow upon Han Li the honor of bravery, encouraging citizens to follow his exemplary example. Viewers in the live stream engaged in lively discussion. Wow, there is someone with the same name as our Han. This person is truly remarkable. Upstairs, do you think he could be our Han? Is it true? Our Han want to capture real criminals? No way, that is absurd. Brothers, we have a major situation. Quickly check the police ranking released by the program. Incredible. Everyone eagerly opened the rankings. Police ranking, first place, Wang Zhigua, number of arrests, 73. Remark, truly the face of the police department. Second place, Peppa Pig, number of arrests, 43. Remark, he stands out above the rest. Peppa Pig? How on earth did that name appear on the police rankings? This was unprecedented. On this day, criminals throughout the city felt a chill run down their spines. The emergence of Peppa Pig was alarming. Chapter 38. The mantis stalks the cicada, while the yellow bird awaits. What is happening here? A shift from darkness to light? My Han is adept at navigating both realms. How extraordinary, Zhang San remarked. This guy is even capturing his own people? He has gone mad. It seems the criminals must be trembling in fear. Han Li, however, remained unfazed. Enjoying breakfast outside with Ling Han. President Han, where were you yesterday? We couldn't find you anywhere. I want to catch thieves. Is it possible that the person who single-handedly apprehended over 40 thieves in this morning's news is you? Han Li replied, indeed. Ling Han could hardly believe it. What exactly is Mr. Han up to? Having indulged a bit too much, Xiao Han said, let us take a stroll. The two stood and departed from the food stall. Shortly thereafter, a nearby table of patrons cast furtive glances in their direction. The man with the square face was the first to speak. What do you think? Is it them? We mustn't mistake the wrong individuals. Rest assured, the tracking signal on my phone indicates that one of those two is indeed Han Li, was the reply. But they don't resemble Han Li at all. The attractive woman, with a graceful figure and a sweet face, shot him a glare and whispered, you dolt. Didn't we already mention that Han Li is capable of disguising himself as others? Let's follow them and see. Having settled their bill, the group promptly headed in the same direction as Han Li and his companion. Along the way, Ling Han trailed beside Han Li, eager to inquire yet unsure how to begin. Are you curious about what I do? Han Li smiled and replied, don't worry, you will find out soon. Shopkeeper, I need several lengths of sturdy rope and some cloths, Han Li requested upon entering a store. Though the shopkeeper found it peculiar, he could not resist the allure of a paying customer. Among the crowd, undercover officers kept a close watch on the movements of Han Li and his companion. Everyone, stay low and avoid detection, one officer cautioned. No way, can he really be that perceptive? Is he some sort of deity? Relax, boss, Yanqing rebuked through her earpiece. You're being careless. Pay attention, boss. We have a situation. Suddenly, several undercover officers noticed that the two individuals had separated, heading in different directions. What do we do now? Split up? Why are you still smiling? Yanqing asked, her face brightening as she realized she no longer had to guess which one was Han Li. With the two parting ways, She could simply check the tracking signal to determine the real Han Li. Oh, how clever of you, boss. Let me see which one it is. Yanqing picked up her phone and discovered that Han Li's tracking signal was to their left. Everyone, it's the one on the left. The group immediately surged toward the left, fixated on the figure in a suit. Is that him? Indeed. Boss, should we rush in now? No. There are too many people here. I will lure him into an alley. Once I give you the signal, then you can act. Yanqing removed her cap, letting her hair cascade over her shoulders, her crescent-shaped eyes sparkling. The nearby man was taken aback by her beauty, pausing in astonishment. Excuse me, sir? Could you do me a favor? She approached him, gently tugging at his sleeve with a pitiful expression. What do you need? I want to go to this place. But I'm hopeless with directions. Could you please take me there? I beg you. Yanqing widened her alluring eyes and earnestly pleaded again. Is that too much to ask? Oh, my heart is melting. Young man, please agree to help her. Exactly. It's an act of kindness. What a delightful little girl. Ling Han gently patted her head, saying, All right then, who asked to be such a good-natured person? Thank you. Yanqing followed him to the agreed-upon alley. We're almost there. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. Little did he know, behind him, Yanqing chuckled, her eyes glinting with disdain. Leave? Now that you've come, you might as well stay. The time has come. Cast the net. Ladies and gentlemen, you may emerge. The alley was thoroughly surveilled, with officers positioned at every corner. There was no escape for Han Li. You are doomed. However, after 1 minute, then 2, an eerie silence enveloped the space. Where was everyone? Why had no one shown up? Yanqing even began to doubt whether these individuals had lost their way. At that moment, a cold voice resonated from behind her. Yanqing turned abruptly to find a man in a suit, smiling, who was holding a brick high above his head. Wait a moment. Thud. With a thump. Yanqing lost consciousness and collapsed to the ground. Han Li discarded the brick, scrutinizing the woman before him. Interesting. Is this what you refer to as business, Mr. Han? Ling Han approached, having previously been asked by Han Li to swap phones, still unaware of the reason behind it. Upon glancing at the individuals bound with ropes and gagged with cloth, he began to piece it together. So, I have been used as bait? Indeed, kidnapping, extortion, anything related to crime falls within our purview. Now, Comrade Ling Han, it is time for you to take this step. As he spoke, Han Li unexpectedly produced a firearm from behind his back and handed it to Ling Han. Don't worry, it's merely a prop gun. Take it. See this woman? She is an officer who has been tracking me for days. I decided to turn the tables, and I didn't anticipate it would be so easy to ensnare her. Perfectly. You shall resolve her. Resolve? An officer? No, Mr. Han. Is it too late for me to withdraw now? At the police headquarters, Wang Zhigua and numerous officers awaited the arrival of the director in the office. They were curious about what this exchange conference would simulate. They hoped to surpass the United States this year, as they had come close in previous attempts. One couldn't deny that the combat capabilities of the United States were formidable. As the discussions unfolded, the door creaked open. Director Jiang entered, followed by a foreigner clad in U.S. police attire, sporting a handlebar mustache and sharp eyes that gave off a frivolous air. Everyone, this is Colonel Mike Sayre from the U.S. delegation. Hello. The crowd rose, extending their hands to greet him. However, to everyone's surprise, Colonel Sayre completely disregarded them and strode to the front seat, sitting down with an air of authority. Director Jiang, I have heard that the crime rate in your country has risen again. I must say, the capabilities of your officers seem somewhat lacking. Who lacks capability? Wu Meng, unable to tolerate the slight, immediately stood up and rebuked him. Oh, my apologies. I wasn't implying that your abilities are insufficient. Humph. Wu Meng's anger had somewhat subsided. Little did he know that the foreigner next to him would audaciously declare, I mean, everyone present here is trash. Such arrogance. Is he courting death? Colonel Makeys, your tone is rather presumptuous, isn't it? Director Jiang's expression darkened, exuding an aura of authority that only a seasoned leader could command. It was only then that Makeys tempered his demeanor, offering an insincere apology. Sorry, Jiang, my Chinese isn't very good. Without further ado, Makeys proposed. Let us engage in a competition during this exchange. I have heard that your crime simulation in Huaxia is quite popular. How about we simulate a robbery together? We will play the robbers, and you will attempt to apprehend us. If you succeed, it will be considered your victory. Makeys believed that, compared to the police chief, escaping as a robber right under their noses would provide an even greater sense of defeat to the opposing side. Excellent. When shall we commence? Makeys glanced at his watch. It has already begun, esteemed officers of Huaxia. Suddenly, a police officer burst into the room, exclaiming, Not good. A group of foreigners is robbing a bank. The room fell silent in disbelief. Makeys reveled in the confusion displayed by the Huaxia officers. Did they not expect this? This time, we, the M Nation, have caught you off guard. What is the expression in Huaxia? A show of authority. However, Director Jiang erupted in laughter, addressing Colonel Makeys. Have you ever watched a program called Crime Simulation? Makeys shook his head, busy with his duties. The others chimed in. You haven't seen it? That's just as well. Wang Zhigua clenched his fists, steadying himself. Ahem, this does not count as us bullying you. It was your own suggestion, so no backing out. Jiang patted the bewildered Makeys on the shoulder. But how does robbing a bank relate to that program? Chapter 39. Damn it, this Xiao Ming. Is he going to proceed or not? Have we called the police? The female clerk nodded vigorously, standing beside several burly, fierce-looking robbers, armed with guns. As they entered, a barrage of gunfire erupted, sending chills down the spine. Very well, now we await the arrival of the Huaxia police, Mark remarked, timing them. A buzz-cut African-American glanced out the window, whistling. Robbing a bank in Huaxia is far too easy, but I don't understand why we are playing the robbers. Anyone with common sense knows that only the police will emerge victorious in the end. If only we had a leader who had successfully robbed hundreds of banks and remained uncaught, he mused, looking at a scruffy man seated ahead. Though his face bore the marks of hardship, his gaze remained fierce. He had robbed various banks nearly 100 times. Yet no one in the M Nation had managed to apprehend him. His remarkable skills had even left the FBI exasperated. Within the industry, he was known as the godfather of robbery. As long as he was with them, the Huaxia officers would have no chance of capturing them. This was the confidence that bolstered Maquis. If I assist you in winning this competition, will you clear my record? The man inquired. The captain of the M Nation's special forces nodded. God is my witness. Humph, nonsense about God. The man stretched his limbs, harboring little regard for the Chinese law enforcement. He recalled his own exploits, having traversed from Xianlan to New York City, leaving a trail of heists in his wake. It was merely the weight of age that nudged him towards retirement, leading him to strike a deal with the police in M country. Now, the Chinese officers had arrived, foolishly walking into peril. The African-American steadied his specially crafted sniper rifle, filled with paintballs, for a hit would signify a demise. Hold your horses. I must first launder the money. At that moment, Captain Wang and his team hastily arrived at the bank designated for this simulated robbery. Would the robbers harm the hostages? Mike shook his head, reassuringly stating, worry not. We are professionals. At worst, we'll only intimidate. Captain Wang, let us devise a plan. The crowd gasped. Wu Ming had surprisingly displayed intelligence, shifting from his previous mindless actions. It seemed that Han Li's earlier challenges had illuminated his shortcomings. They then spread out a document. This very file had once kept the director Jiang awake at night as they sought a solution. Who would have thought it would be of use now? Cursed be it. The Chinese officers had swiftly surrounded all exits. The African-American, growing impatient, approached and aimed his specialized gun at a hostage. Hey, you're quite the chatterbox. Do you believe I want to take you out? I'm in the middle of a game. What game? Inquired a curious foreigner. The African replied. A Chinese game called If You're My Brother, Come and Cut Me. Let us be serious here. The weapon was intercepted by a pair of hands. There aren't many hostages. Let us not rush to kill. He then summoned an accomplice. You, come here, follow me to the back for an ambush. The Godfather left the back door purposely open to lure the police in and eliminate them. This tactic has proven effective against law enforcement from various nations. Yes, sir. Typically, officers would attempt to infiltrate through the back door, assuming they could capture all at once, unaware that they had already been outmaneuvered. However, 10 minutes passed without a single officer entering. Why haven't they arrived? Damn it, do they know we've set an ambush at the back? The captain of the special forces expressed astonishment, for the back door was universally recognized as the optimal point of entry. The Godfather remained composed. Indeed, they possess some skill. Let us proceed. They anticipated our ambush. Anticipated? The M Country Special Forces captain displayed incredulity. Is that even possible? Absolutely. Wang Jigua successfully predicted their moves and refrained from recklessly sending anyone to the back door. The heavy losses from the last encounter with 3 teams still haunt us. Send someone to negotiate with them. Yes. The first wave of negotiations commenced. The Godfather, puffing on a cigar, declared resolutely, we shall not agree too swiftly. To acquiesce immediately would portray our desperation, ultimately working against us. What should we do then? The Godfather pointed at a Chinese hostage. You, come here, strip off your clothes. The robber donned the hostage's clothes to impersonate them, taking advantage of the police chief's momentary distraction to strike unexpectedly. He had executed a similar scheme in a bank in Norway, eliminating several police officers in the process. Oh my God, truly a mastermind, formidable indeed. I had never considered such an audacious tactic. The robber posing as the hostage while the real hostage was mistaken for the criminal. It was a mere target. And the Chinese police would never anticipate this maneuver. An officer from M Country disguised as a hostage, while the mastermind aimed his weapon at the individual posing as a target. Hello, sir, if you fail to cooperate, I shall end your life, understand? Following this, with the gun pointed at the hostage's head from behind, the Chinese hostage, unwilling to succumb, forced the M Country officer out. Someone emerged. Wang Jigua received a message from the sniper. Through the display, he observed the scene outside the bank. Captain Wang, at this moment, can I accurately shoot the robber? Should I fire? Do not shoot unless the identity of the target is confirmed. Wang Jigua decisively vetoed. Help! Help! Officer, please save me. The M Country officer, in a state of desperation, continued his act, only to be taken aback as the Chinese officers stood motionless, as if watching a performance. Please save me. I am the hostage. Wu Ming scratched his head, perplexed about the authenticity of this hostage. Suddenly, an idea struck Wang Lang. The Chinese officers are standing by while I perish. I'm going to die? The M Country officer mused, confused as to why they had yet to fire in his defense. He was nearly within arm's reach. You claim to be a hostage, which implies you are Chinese, correct? Yes, yes. Please save me quickly. Stop dawdling. Wang Lang nodded, satisfied. If you are indeed Chinese, allow me to pose a question. Xiaoming, there is bird droppings on the window. Would you please wipe it off? What? The M country officer chuckled inwardly, thinking it was merely a trick question. Please, I have studied the Chinese language. However, when Wang Lang uttered the second line, the M country officer lost his composure. Xiaoming said, I won't wipe it. Now, tell me, will you wipe it or not? M country officer. Mastermind. What wipe? Why can't I understand? Wipe? Shoot him. He is a foreigner in disguise. Wang Lang shouted. I have discovered the truth. Bang. The M country officer collapsed, shot, and eliminated from the game. WTF? The others in the bank were left in shock. FCK, is that it? SHT, what is Xiaoming's answer? To wipe or not to wipe? The Chinese language, so perplexing. The mastermind frowned, realizing he had encountered a tough opponent. Wang Zhigua observed the familiar scenes unfolding, entirely under his control. He chuckled. Having done my homework in advance makes all the difference. Chapter 40. Those who offend China shall be punished, no matter how distant. The situation was dire. The fear-stricken African man exclaimed. How could the Chinese police chief discern our intentions? Within mere minutes, they had lost one of their own, and a hostage had been rescued by the adversary. The captain of the M Country Special Forces rallied his team. Do not fear, the advantage lies with us, does it not, Godfather? The Godfather remained unperturbed, discarding his cigarette and advancing towards the bank's entrance. Outside, the police chief was quick to respond, dispatching a transport helicopter with a strict 10-minute deadline. Exceed a minute, and I will execute a hostage. A helicopter? The crowd was taken aback. It was unprecedented for robbers to demand such a thing. This could potentially allow them to escape directly to M Country. Truly, the Godfather was ingenious to conceive such a plan. How troublesome this must be for the Chinese police. Outside, Wu Meng vehemently opposed the idea. No, we cannot acquiesce to their demands. Once they board the helicopter, we want to be able to pursue them. However, if they refused, the hostages would be executed. It was a conundrum. Once they crossed the border into M Country, it would spell trouble. Amidst the turmoil, Wang Zhigua remained remarkably composed, even finding time to sip a cup of coffee, its rich aroma wafting from the high-end logo embossed on the cup, an extravagant purchase made online. He had the solution at hand. Agree to the robbers' demands, while simultaneously positioning a few armed officers within the helicopter for an ambush once they board it. Yes, before long. The M Country officers inside the bank spotted the helicopter outside. Excellent. The helicopter has arrived. The Chinese police actually delivered it. The African man was elated. Isn't this a gift? Once they board, cross the border, and the Chinese police will be powerless to pursue us. A voice called out, the helicopter is here for you. As long as the hostages are kept safe, we can negotiate. Meanwhile, the money was secured, and they were eager to depart. The officers from M Country looked to the silent Godfather, awaiting his next command. Hold on, he instructed calmly as he loaded his weapon. Prepare yourselves. I have a premonition that the Chinese police will launch a final assault. Taking advantage of their boarding, he had surmised their intentions. Captain Wang, I believe now is the opportune moment. The M Country officers would never anticipate that we would strike at this juncture. Wang Zhigua remained unaffected, clutching the plan in his hands. The first rule of Han's principles, never act impulsively. Wu Meng was taken aback. Han's principles? Has he become a textbook example? How absurd. Are the armed officers in position? Wang Zhigua inquired, for they were the key to their plan. Report, Captain Wang, we are in position. The officers concealed within the helicopter's compartment responded. Wang Zhigua nodded approvingly. Excellent. We await the robbers to take the bait. Inside the helicopter, the robbers heard the announcement. The Chinese police, will not take any action. You are permitted to take the money as long as the hostages are released. Moreover, should you choose to cross the border, we shall not impede your passage. At this moment, a group of officers stationed at the back entrance of the bank were taken aback by this proclamation. What? No action will be taken? Is it truly a matter of apathy? At the very least, muster some semblance of resistance. A little effort would enhance our reputation. This is utterly embarrassing. Damn it, the officers from Huaxia display no resolve. Have they truly surrendered? I've been waiting here for what feels like an eternity. Alas, it seems the outcome has been decided. The Godfather, too, was at a loss for words. They squandered their final opportunity. Damn. These Huaxiao officers are utterly useless. You, young man, go and inspect the helicopter. Dismiss the pilot and take the controls yourself. The Godfather instructed the two American officers. Yes, sir. Once the safety of the aircraft has been confirmed, he would then lead the hostages aboard. One word, steady. The two American officers swaggered past Wu Meng and the others, escorting a bank employee with an air of arrogance. Pathetic. This victory is devoid of merit. Throughout this ordeal, they continued to mock the Huaxia officers. Wu Meng's face flushed with anger, but he exerted all his will to remain composed. Soon, they would face the consequences. A helicopter descended not far from the bank, and according to the Godfather's orders, the two American officers forcibly ejected the pilot sent by Huaxia. Godfather, everything is in order. You may approach. The Godfather's expression suddenly darkened. You, take these hostages and board the helicopter. Release the hostages? Nonsense. Not a single one shall be freed. The captain of the American Special Forces inquired. Perplexed. Aren't you coming with us? No, I shall remain behind. Those Huaxiao officers will never suspect that one robber is still here. While you draw their attention with the hostages, I will escape through the back with the money. Can it be played this way? Brilliant. According to the rehearsal rules. As long as the American officers portraying robbers manage to abscond with the loot, their mission is deemed a success. Godfather, you are truly a genius. The Godfather smirked inwardly. This is a guaranteed victory. The remaining hostages were escorted out of the bank by 2 or 3 American officers. Hey, Huaxiao officers, should you make any move, I will shoot. The captain of the American Special Forces aimed his weapon at the hostage's head. Wang Zhigua commanded, withdraw all snipers. No one is permitted to fire. Watching the snipers depart, the American officers scoffed. Humph, the Huaxiao officers are indeed spineless. Ha ha ha, these Huaxiao officers are utterly powerless against us. They are merely a joke. The second will always be second. The robbers have already boarded the helicopter with the hostages. Once they take off, victory is practically assured. Mike observed this scene and smiled at Director Jiang beside him, saying, damn it, these guys are too quick. I explicitly told them to delay longer. This has left the Huaxiao officers without dignity. Director Jiang, rest assured, I will return and thoroughly reprimand them. Director Jiang clenched his fists, feeling an overwhelming urge to slap him. Despicable. Wang Zhigua, will you not take action? Wang Zhigua waited until the robbers boarded the helicopter one by one before he picked up the walkie-talkie and said, the net can be closed now. Just then, a sudden commotion erupted from within the helicopter as several armed officers sprang forth. Damn it, it's a trap. They have an ambush. However, it was far too late. With a series of gunshots, red smoke erupted from the body of the American officer. Report, Captain Wang, the robbers have been neutralized. The armed officers moved swiftly, providing no opportunity for resistance. Damn it, I surrender. I'm done. The black man cried out, secretly reaching for his weapon, preparing for a surprise attack. Hee. The greatest weakness of the Huaxiao officers is their excessive mercy, whether towards themselves or their foes. Captain Wang, one of the robbers has surrendered. Should we bind him? An armed officer inquired. Wang Zhigua glanced at the plan, recalling the second clause of the Han Law. To show mercy to the enemy is to harm oneself. Execute him on the spot. Bang. A bullet struck his forehead. The black man. What the hell? When did the Huaxiao officers become so ruthless? Hearing the gunfire outside, the hidden Godfather jumped out from behind the partition, his back laden with a heavy bag of money. The Huaxiao officers are nothing but this. Now is the time to flee. Suddenly, dozens of guns clicked, the sound reverberating around them. The Godfather felt red dots all over his forehead. Damn. His body began to tremble. All around him, numerous officers were already on high alert. The Godfather? What the hell is going on? For the first time, he was being watched by so many officers, densely packed with Huaxiao officers. Escape? What a joke. Wang Zhigua slowly stepped forward, one hand holding the plan. Addressing the last robber. In Huaxia, there is an ancient saying, when friends come from afar, it is a joy, isn't it? The Godfather immediately replied, wrong. It is, though far. They must be punished. The Godfather, damn. Chapter 41. What the hell? I, Han Liqing, have become a textbook. Report, Director Jiang. All of the American officers posing as robbers have been eliminated, with no survivors. Director Jiang chuckled, as if celebrating the new year. Shit, how could we lose? Colonel Mikesi's mentality collapsed, his expression exceedingly grim. The mustached man was furious, trembling with rage. How embarrassing. The United States had always been number one. To be defeated by Huaxia. Ashamed, he intended to leave but was intercepted by Director Jiang, who wore a mischievous grin. What's the rush? There's a press conference. In an instant, a throng of reporters and staff surged forth, countless flashes causing Colonel Mikesi's scalp to prickle. You, Director Jiang, had this planned all along. Good afternoon, everyone. Just now, the 28th International Police Exchange Conference has officially concluded. Under the leadership of Captain Wang Zhigua, our police force has successfully defeated the American officers, breaking their undefeated myth. This is a cause for celebration. The female reporter, her expression animated, held the microphone and approached Director Jiang before bypassing him. Colonel Mekes, seemingly bewildered, was approached with a serious inquiry. Now, let us interview the leader of the M country, Colonel Mekes. How are you feeling at this moment? How am I feeling? Are you serious? This reporter, are you truly serious? I'm on the brink of losing my composure. Mekes cursed inwardly. What an absurd question. The national netizens erupted in laughter. Haha, this is a merciless attack, truly ruthless. The police chief has learned poorly from Hanli. Mekes retorted, are you even being polite? We have just defeated the top-ranking M country. Can you believe it? What an astounding achievement for Huaxia. It's a celebration indeed. With a darkened expression, Mekes replied, the outcome of this drill was unexpected, yet perhaps it is to be expected. After all, Huaxia, as the police force, has a greater number of personnel and superior equipment. While we, as the robbers from M country, are merely a handful, thus it is hardly surprising that Huaxia emerged victorious. Director Jiang interjected, "Are you joking? Do you have no shame? Did you not choose to play the role of the robbers yourself?" This foreigner is being quite unreasonable with such a statement. Our victory seems almost expected. How infuriating to have our commendable performance dismissed so easily. Observing the reporter's discontent, Mei Keys felt a surge of satisfaction. How delightful, Huaxia. If I can manipulate public opinion effectively, then the result of this exercise becomes inconsequential. At that moment, Wang Zhigua apprehended a suspicious foreigner. Report, Director Jiang. We have discovered that this foreigner is indeed a top-wanted criminal from M country. Director Jiang and the reporters turned to Mei Keys in unison. Colonel Mei Keys, is this what you refer to as unfair? You have employed a genuine fugitive. Mei Keys, upon seeing the Godfather, muttered nervously, I do not know him. I do not know him. Hey, Mei Keys, are you going to violate our agreement? We had a deal that you would let me participate in the drill and win the competition in exchange for erasing my criminal record. You scoundrel. How can you now claim not to know me? The crowd was taken aback by the scandalous deal. The FBI exclaimed, what the hell? I will return. Mei Keys shouted in desperation as he was escorted away by several agents from the M Country Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Godfather was not spared either. The reporters, now gleeful, turned to Director Jiang. Director Jiang, how did the Huaxia police manage to eliminate all the M Country police impersonating robbers without harming a single hostage? Especially considering they even employed real criminals. Director Jiang smiled and replied, in this drill, we essentially adopted a strategy to counteract criminals akin to Han Li, meticulously controlling every step and anticipating the worst-case scenarios, thereby mastering the situation. It is thanks to Han Li that our police force has enhanced its capabilities to triumph over M Country. Han Li, if you are watching this news, I would like to express gratitude on behalf of all police forces for your contributions to the fight against crime. The audience watching the live broadcast erupted in excitement. What a spectacle! In this place, learning is put to practical use. It is utterly astonishing that a player can portray a criminal, defying all odds, to such an extent that it influences the actions of the police in real life. Goodness, the cases presented in the show have impacted reality. It is simply remarkable. Han Li, am I, in fact, becoming a textbook example? From this moment forth, my reputation as Han has officially been established. Who is this Han Li, one might wonder. Such an impressive figure. To comprehend, one must watch criminal roleplay. First comes me, Han, and then comes heaven, simultaneously online. An increasing number of users are curious about the identity of Han Li, who has remarkably assisted the police in averting crises. Soon enough, netizens were left astounded. Black on black, stealing police firearms, annihilating armed teams while toying with the police, planting timed explosives, and eluding capture. These incidents have left viewers in a state of shock. This is not mere roleplay. It is akin to a living, breathing criminal textbook. Even more astonishing is that while other criminals often leave a trail of negative consequences in their wake, Han Li seems to defy this trend. Whenever he commits a crime, the likelihood of similar crimes occurring in reality significantly diminishes. In fact, he has apprehended over 40 thieves. Can one still claim he is not a nemesis to crime? Before long, news about Han Li began to proliferate. A trending topic emerged. Incredible. The secret to the Chinese police defeating the world's strongest nation is a passerby portraying a criminal? Another headline proclaimed, Han Li, the walking crime prevention textbook. Yet another read. Mastering both sides of the law, just how far can Han Li go? A fourth headline announced. Latest news. Prices of Peppa Pig masks are soaring due to Han Li's influence. Countless bloggers began creating videos, showcasing individuals, regardless of gender, donning Peppa Pig masks and suits. Imitating Han Li. The associated buzz remained at an all-time high. Han Li is simply sensational. Han, I cannot do this. Ling Han glanced at Han Li beside him, wondering how he could muster such audacity. After all, it is the police. Han Li covered his face. Is this fellow truly that timid? Never mind. Just get these guys transported to my place. Ling Han, do we need the men too? What are you thinking? Hurry up. With that, Ling Han prepared to carry Yan Qing, only to be kicked by Han Li. Are you foolish? With so many people, of course, we should take a taxi. Oh right. Before long, the two retrieved several officers from the bag and tossed them into a spacious room. Goodness, it felt akin to hauling livestock, especially that little chubby one. Exhausting. Han, take a look. Quick, open Doudu. What Doudu? What are we shaking? Han Li opened the app and his eyes widened. The trending topic read, the Chinese police officially announced the Han Li principles. First, never act impulsively without absolute certainty. Second, showing mercy to robbers is a disservice to oneself. Third, confirm the identity of the other party before opening fire. The Han Li principles? Han Li, am I truly becoming a teaching material? Goodness. Wow. So many bloggers are imitating you, Han. You have become quite popular. But what's the point of fame? I don't wish to be famous. It's the path of steady development that truly matters. The mere thought of this gives Han Li a headache. You may leave now. What are you doing in that room? Ling Han observed Han Li as he entered the chamber where several police officers were detained, feeling an unsettling premonition. Han Li turned back, a mischievous grin on his face, and said, guess? Police officer, danger. At that moment, Yan Qing suddenly regained consciousness. Upon opening her eyes, She discovered that she and a few others were in an unfamiliar room. Where am I? Suddenly, a hand reached from behind, grabbing her hair and lifting her up. Han Li whispered in her ear, "You're awake? You're the first." Yanqing's face flushed with embarrassment, and she exclaimed in terror, "What are you going to do to me?" Chapter 42. Hello, are you there? I intend to deceive you for your money. In the dimly lit room, Yanqing's hands were bound, and her complexion was pale. She resembled a deranged individual, imprisoned in this place, her eyes darting around frantically. Creak. The man had returned. Han Li closed the door and took a seat. Gazing at Yanqing. Miss Yanqing, I will be asking you a few questions. The first question, who is your superior? Wang Zhigua. Incorrect. I shall ask you again. Who is your superior? You. Very well. Next question. If I were to ask you to do anything, would you comply? Yes. Hey, what are you doing taking off your clothes? What are you thinking? The production team exclaimed. What kind of commotion is this? Han Li promptly intervened, narrowly averting a crisis. He continued. May I inquire who the most handsome person in the world is? Han Li. And the final question, which province are you from? Yanqing, in a daze, replied, I was born from my mother. Han Li applauded. Congratulations. After 24 hours of continuous treatment, your condition has finally been cured, Miss Yanqing. You are free to leave the hospital. The viewers in the live stream were left utterly bewildered by the recovery scene. Goodness. Han has finally taken action against the female officer. What has she endured over these 3 days? Has she been thoroughly broken? She's completely lost her mind. My scalp is tingling. How perverse. But I like it. Upon hearing that she had been released, Yanqing unexpectedly burst into tears. These past days have been torturous. Can you imagine being bound and unable to move, while someone beside you brainwashes you? Just as you close your eyes, you're jolted awake. Doesn't he sleep at all? What about my subordinates? Yanqing untied the ropes and cautiously inquired of Han Li. He patted the few still sleeping police officers. We'll take them back together to avoid raising suspicion among the officers. Yes, master. Yanqing behaved like a docile kitten, devoid of any semblance of a police officer. Don't call me master. It makes me seem like a pervert. All right, master. Through a night of relentless brainwashing, Han Li employed his skill of orator to completely transform Yanqing into his own. She would become his pawn within the police, relaying information to him at any moment. Infernal affairs. Have you seen it? After escorting Yanqing out of the community, Han Li instructed, I will contact you later. Yes, master. Returning to the living room, Han Li retrieved the vital information he had previously obtained from the Futian group. It contained details about various company executives. So, they flaunt their wealth, do they? It is time to teach them a lesson. He began to seek out his prey. The president of the Wenhai group. No. He appeared to be too cunning, not easily deceived. The CEO of the Zhouhai group. Oh. A woman, 60 years old? Never mind. The head of the Tianbao group. A commercial magnate with numerous enterprises, cherished his daughter dearly. Her name was Wang Xinya. This Wang Xinya spent money extravagantly, with little awareness of caution. A pampered little princess indeed. And she resided in my city. To not scam her would be a disservice to her. However, he utilized the internet to gather all available information on Wang Xinya, a top student. She had studied abroad since 2018 and now held the position of director at a subsidiary. He browsed through her photographs. The woman smiled sweetly, exuding grace. Playfully embracing her father. Their father-daughter bond appeared to be quite strong. Next, he found her current social media account, filled with snapshots of her life, showcasing her wealth. Oh. At that moment, Han Li discovered a private post. You do not have permission to view this. Not allowing outsiders to see. Something amiss. Let me take a look. A quick hack revealed the content. I miss you. We haven't seen each other in a year. Kuhai Waya, accompanied by an image. In the picture, Wang Xinya was embracing a seemingly composed man, who kissed her gently. In the background, a waterfall cascaded down. Han Li noted the stone tablet beside them inscribed with Nanshan Nature Scenic Area. Checking the timestamp, it turned out to have been posted just a few days prior. Was she trying to reconcile with her ex-boyfriend? Intriguing. Han Li followed the trail, entering the social media account of Kuhai Waya. Indeed, Wang Xinya was following him. Han Li perused his posts, mostly featuring images of various scenic spots, the latest depicting a man kneeling on one knee, proposing to a beautiful woman, with onlookers joyfully applauding. The comments celebrated the couple's union. This post was dated the 18th. Wait, the 18th? Han Li reopened Wang Xinya's private post, which also had been published on the 18th. As it turned out, this Wang Xinya had broken up with her boyfriend before studying abroad, and upon returning, wished to reconcile. More thrillingly, she intended to meet him on the day of his wedding to propose a revival of their relationship. Tempting a married man? My, how exhilarating. An excellent idea sparked in Han Li's mind. He promptly hacked into Kuhai Waya's account and then messaged Wang Xinya from his social media profile. I miss you, Xinya. Message sent successfully. Han Li yawned, expecting to wait a while. Just as he stood up, ding. The other party replied. A prompt response. What's wrong? Han Li pondered for a moment before responding. I recently had a quarrel with my wife, and my mood is rather dismal. Ding. The other party promptly replied, Oh? Is your wife that fierce? Unlike me, I can only feel sympathy for you, dear brotherly. What on earth? This tea is exceedingly green. With a sense of nausea, Han Li sent the message. Yes, Xinya, I still cannot forget you. We were too reckless before. If you wish to meet, let us rendezvous at our usual spot. Remember, come alone. I do not wish for anyone else to disturb us. Ding. Hom. Han Li set down his phone and exhaled deeply. Take it down. The viewers in the live stream erupted in excitement. I'm utterly bewildered. What is Mr. Han doing? Is he attempting to entice a green tea girl? Alone in the mountains with a woman. Oh, I understand now. Mr. Han is planning a kidnapping. Everyone, do not forget, this Wang Xinya's father is a business magnate, and he has wealth beyond measure. He is fishing for big catches. Ugh. The most astonishing part is that Mr. Han managed to secure a meeting with just a few messages. Such deception is truly terrifying. Let me set a flag. Mr. Han is bound to become a sensation again at that moment. Ling Han arrived punctually to prepare a meal for Mr. Han. Ling Han, remember to make breakfast tomorrow. A person who typically sleeps until the afternoon suddenly desires breakfast? Something is amiss. Mr. Han, what are your plans for tomorrow? Han Li grinned mischievously. Need I say? I am, of course, planning something grand. Chapter 43. Boss, you surely do not wish for your daughter to be harmed. Do you? Han Li awoke early, had his breakfast, and instructed Ling Han to drive the new car to the Nanshan Scenic Park. We have arrived. You may head back now. Han Li ascended the mountain. After a few steps, he found a shady spot to rest, drenched in sweat. Did the weather forecast not state that today would be overcast? Why is the sun still shining? Just then, he noticed an elderly gentleman selling ice pops nearby. A timely offering, good sir. Young man, which flavor would you like? The old man inquired with a smile. Han Li responded, I will purchase your cart. Ding. Transaction of 2,000 yuan. The old man. Goodness gracious. Have I just become unemployed? Is this sufficient, or shall I transfer more? That will suffice. That cart is yours now. I wish you well, Han Li replied, bemused. He did not intend to use it for profit, but for another purpose altogether. After a while, utilizing a unique recipe gleaned from the internet, Han Li produced a fresh batch of ice cream. As for its effects, consuming it would undoubtedly alleviate your constipation. You might find yourself spending 24 hours confined to the restroom. Hey, how much for an ice cream? Suddenly, a thug, accompanied by a flamboyant woman, approached the food cart. Han Li, I'm sorry, we are out of ice cream. What? With so many ice creams, do you take us for fools? The man expressed his displeasure. Bro, are you messing with me? No. Big brother, this ice cream is not for consumption. Damn it, why can't it be eaten? In a whimsical tone, a young woman playfully expressed her desire for ice cream, teasingly addressing a man, urging him to procure 2 servings quickly lest he face her wrath. The man, brimming with bravado, nonchalantly acquiesced, and soon enough, the ice cream was generously scooped, almost overflowing. The playful banter continued, with the man boasting about his generosity, while the woman, undeterred, demanded more. As the man prepared the ice cream, a notification chimed, revealing that Wang Xinya had arrived. He promptly responded, indicating his location by the stone tablet atop the mountain. Upon reaching the summit, he spotted the tablet depicted in the image. Moments later, Wang Xinya appeared, elegantly clad in a trench coat, her luxurious waves cascading around her, exuding confidence and beauty that set her apart from the crowd. However, he refrained from revealing himself immediately, choosing instead to observe her intently. Noticing his absence, Wang Xinya wondered aloud where he might be, her heart racing in anticipation of their long-awaited reunion after 5 years. Despite the bittersweet news of his marriage, her feelings for him remained steadfast, compelling her to pursue him still. Just then, she was approached with an offer of ice cream, to which she initially declined, asserting her preference for a specific brand. Yet, upon catching sight of his handsome visage, she reconsidered and requested a strawberry flavor. The man obliged, offering her the modified strawberry ice cream at a discounted price, eliciting a smile from her. As she attempted to complete the transaction via her phone, she encountered difficulties scanning the code, prompting him to assist her. After resolving the issue, she thanked him, her spirits lifted. Watching him depart, she savored the ice cream, eagerly awaiting her beloved. However, as she indulged, an unexpected discomfort arose in her stomach, growing increasingly unbearable. Urgently, she decided to find a restroom, hastily messaging her companion before making her way to a nearby public facility. Along the way, she noticed a crowd gathered, piquing her curiosity. Several medical personnel emerged from the restroom, carrying a man and a woman. Both appeared pale and were weeping tragically, uttering words about poisoned ice cream. It was said that they had been in the restroom for 4 hours, resulting in severe dehydration, truly terrifying. How frightful. Their pants had turned yellow. Wang Xinya felt an intensifying pain in her abdomen and, disregarding everything else, hurried into the restroom to relieve herself. Much better. But alas, the pain returned with a vengeance. Cursed fate. Just as Wang Xinya stepped out of the restroom, she clutched her backside and rushed back in. Meanwhile, Han Li had successfully manipulated Wang Xinya's phone using his multifunctional device. Now, she was unable to receive any messages or calls from the outside world. Wow, Han Li exclaimed, startled by the sudden appearance of a middle-aged man beside him. Who are you? I'm a staff member. Don't worry, I won't interfere. But I must ask, did you put laxatives in the ice cream? Just a little, Han Li replied nonchalantly. Are you certain? An ambulance just arrived at the foot of the mountain. I heard there's a man and a woman who became dehydrated from their ordeal, nearly incapacitated. You call that just a little? They brought this upon themselves. I warned them, but they wouldn't listen. However, rest assured, Wang Xinyao will only suffer from diarrhea. She will be fine. The staff member nodded. Very well. As for what happens next, the organization will handle it. Han Li was taken aback. Incredible. To have the industry's elite cooperating indicates how formidable this program must be. What kind of organization is behind it? Nothing to worry about. I'll be on my way. In the blink of an eye, the staff member vanished. Han Li retrieved his phone and dialed an unfamiliar number. Ring. Ring in an office somewhere, an impeccably dressed older man rushed to answer the ringing phone, hastily adjusting his trousers after dismissing his secretary. Hello, who is this? Han Li purposely deepened his voice and said, Hello, Mr. Wang. I have kidnapped your daughter. Prepare 50 million, or I will execute her immediately. Chapter 44. Dare to make demands? Do you believe I will follow through? What audacity! Asking for 50 million right off the bat. Han Li, even as a robber, was moved to tears. 50 million? What nonsense is this? Why don't you go rob a bank instead? Here it comes, the highlight moment. Damn, Han. You're too hasty. Starting with such a high demand will surely be met with refusal. Upstairs, you know nothing. This is merely a show of strength. The price will only rise, just wait and see. At that moment, Mr. Wang, hearing the arrogant voice on the other end, was momentarily stunned. What is this? You demand 50 million right away? Do you take me for an ATM? Kid, no matter who you are, attempting to deceive Wang Defa is a death wish. Wang Defa had built his empire from the ground up over more than a decade. He had seen countless storms. Such petty tricks would not swindle him out of 50 million. Dream on. I shall reiterate, your daughter is in my possession. In 3 hours, I demand to see 50 million, or I shall execute her. Han Li's voice grew increasingly frigid, imbued with a chilling intensity. Wang Defa felt an inexplicable pang of anxiety. As though that voice carried an undeniable authority. How could this business magnate be so thoroughly intimidated? Who was this adversary? Mr. Wang. You surely do not wish for your daughter to suffer any misfortune, do you? Before Wang Defa could unleash a torrent of profanities, the caller abruptly terminated the call. This individual possesses a certain gravitas. A sense of unease enveloped him. Wang Defa hastily dialed his wife, inquiring, Darling, has Xinyao been home these past few days? Yes. You scoundrel. You never bothered to check in. She returned today. Kisses, my love. He breathed a sigh of relief. Blast it. How have I grown so old? So easily intimidated by a mere child? Yet, on the other end, his wife recalled something. Speaking up, however, she left early today, claiming she was meeting someone, and has yet to return. That wretched girl. What? Wang Defa straightened in alarm. She left and has not returned? A foreboding feeling crept into his heart. What's wrong? His wife sensed his distress and promptly inquired. Wang Defa, not wanting to alarm her further, concocted an excuse and ended the call. He then dialed his daughter's number directly. Apologies, the number you have dialed is currently unavailable. Sorry, the call cannot be connected? Impossible. This cannot be. Each time he called his daughter, she answered almost instantaneously. There had never been a moment of disconnection. Moreover, Xinyao never parted with her phone, keeping it within arm's reach at all times. He attempted several more times, yet each call met with the same disheartening response. Panic seized him. She has truly been kidnapped. The revelation struck him like a thunderbolt, reverberating in his chest. Call the police. Yes, call the police. But no, the adversary is clearly ruthless. What if he were to enact his threats right away? She is his only beloved daughter. Sir, these documents require your signature. Once completed, we can proceed to the Shangri-La Hotel to continue our previous discussions. A voluptuous secretary entered, clasping documents and smiling brightly. I have matters to attend to. Leave the documents. Wang Defa replied, his mind elsewhere. He hastily donned his suit and departed the company building. For him, every second was of paramount importance. The weather was sweltering. Han Li sat in the cool shade atop the mountain, savoring an ice cream devoid of any laxatives. The refreshing chill coursed through him, invigorating. Ah, delightful. A group of children nearby gazed longingly, lifting their eyes toward their parents, pleading. Uncle, could you spare me an ice cream? A little girl with large, innocent eyes asked. Her chest adorned with a baby bottle. Adorable. What flavor would you like? He inquired, with a commanding gesture. Take your pick. Really? Thank you, uncle. You truly are handsome. Upon seeing the little girl, the other children rushed over to imitate her. Uncle, you are so handsome. You are the most handsome uncle in the world. Amidst the chorus of admiration, Han Li found himself lost in the flattery. Take whatever you like, it's all free. Uncle, may I have an ice cream? I'll introduce my mother to you. What a clever child. You should take more. A moderately attractive middle-aged woman blushed as she whisked the little devotee away. Watching the children joyfully savor their ice cream, Han Li contemplated grander schemes. Meanwhile, at the halfway point of a mountain, in a public restroom, a concerned woman knocked on the door and inquired, Little girl, are you all right? She had seen the girl enter 3 hours prior and was worried she had fainted from being in there too long. I'm fine, auntie. Please don't worry about me. Wang Xinyao muffled her face in shame. It wasn't that she didn't want to come out. Rather, she was unable to after squatting for 3 hours, her legs numb and trembling. Unbeknownst to her, several missed calls had accumulated on her phone. Here he comes again. That ice cream must be poisoned. Hey, would you like a photo for 15 bucks? Hanli replied, you give me 10, and I'll take the picture. The photographer was baffled. At that moment, a phone call came through. Hello, I have prepared 50 million, including cash and some large checks. Where are you? I will come to find you. Wang Defa hurriedly exited the bank with a large bag of money. Hanli moved to a secluded spot and spoke in a low voice. I am waiting for you at the top of Nanshan Scenic Park. You have 1 hour. If you're late by even a minute, I will tear up the ticket. Goodness, so ruthless. Wang Defa felt overwhelmed, but he was no easy prey. He replied earnestly. Before I hand over the money, I need to ensure my daughter's safety. Hanli smirked, impressed by the man's composure. He promptly sent a photo he had secretly taken of Wang Xinya from behind. Wang Defa scrutinized the image, despite the angle. There was no mistaking it was his beloved daughter. No, I need to speak with my daughter. I must hear her voice to feel at ease. Wang Defa insisted cautiously, needing to confirm her safety. Hanli chuckled suddenly. Mr. Wang, do you think you are in a position to make demands? The one in distress here is you. Not me. There are plenty of wealthy individuals in this world. Do you truly believe I should heed your requests? In that instant, Han Li, drawing upon his acting prowess, embodied the essence of an unparalleled rogue, each word dripping with undeniable authority. Wang Defa was taken aback, feeling an unsettling tremor at every syllable. An hour later, having not seen you, prepare for your daughter to make headlines tomorrow. A charming young woman brutally murdered and dismembered atop a mountain. How sensational. Mr. Wang, your time is running out. Beep, 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 boom. Wang De stood in a daze, lowering his phone, his hands trembling. Unbelievable. Am I truly afraid? Quick. Rush to the South Mountain Scenic Park. Within the hour. Hurry. Hanli hung up the phone, dismissive. How amusing. I want to let this get to me. The audience in the live stream erupted with excitement. Amazing, seamless execution. Our Mr. Han showed no hesitation, effortlessly in control. Indeed, it was strikingly impressive. Even more so than a hardened criminal. No, this transcended mere criminality. This was the work of a psychological master. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a psychology professor, Mr. Han S. Call concealed numerous psychological techniques, progressing step by step, completely in command. My scalp tingles, the tone, the confidence, an award-winning actor would weep. Mr. Han, my brother, for the sake of your safety, please report to the police station. Fearful, the audacity of this scammer is astounding. Hanli completed his tasks, whistling as he descended to dispose of some trash. Turning a corner, he suddenly froze. Before him stood several police officers. One officer, accompanied by a police dog, approached him. Chapter 45. How dare you kidnap me, Mr. Han? Goodness, it's the police. What a surprise, what a delightful shock. My word, there are several of them. Mr. Han thought. I seem to be in a spot of trouble. Could I really be getting arrested? This scenario is more absurd than a television drama. Brother Han, why are you still standing there? Run. The officer with the police dog glanced at Han Li, then continued his approach. Could he have recognized me? Han Li pondered. The officer reached him, produced a document, and said, Good day, sir. We are currently searching for a fugitive. Here is his likeness. If you have seen him, please contact the police hotline. Han Li looked down at the document. Goodness. Isn't that a photo from my recent visit to the Forest dealership? Though the face was somewhat blurred, it was somewhat familiar. By the way, why do I feel you bear some resemblance to this individual? The officer compared Han Li to the image, and there was, inexplicably, a hint of similarity. Handsome men all look alike, don't you think, officer? Han Li remarked with a smile. The viewers in the live stream were bewildered. What on earth is happening? They're nearly recognizing you, and you dare to joke around? Are you not afraid of courting disaster? Goodness, Mr. Han, this jest could be fatal. My heart races. What on earth is he thinking? This is reckless. Goodness, dancing on the edge of the police line. This must be referring to you. I can't bear to watch. The officer's expression turned awkward. Could there truly be such a vain person? If he were Han Li, he wouldn't have time for such frivolities. It must not be so. You certainly have a knack for humor. Now, if you see anyone suspicious, please call the hotline. The officer said, preparing to leave. Excuse me, officer, wait a moment. What? Several officers were taken aback. Do you have something to discuss? The audience in the live stream was bewildered. What on earth? Shouldn't a typical fugitive be eager to escape? Why is it the opposite with Mr. Han? Han Li grasped the officer's arm and inquired. When you embark on a mission, do you often face danger? The officers exchanged puzzled glances. Why do you ask that? Well, there are risks, sometimes severe ones, even life-threatening, one officer replied. Han Li's eyes brightened. Guess what I do for a living? The officers were increasingly confused. What do you do? What does it have to do with us? Are you perhaps a criminal? My goodness, my heart can hardly take this. This show is going to be the death of me. I, Han Li, am merely having fun and refuse to leave. Mr. Han, you are a fugitive, remember that. You've been let off by the officers. Why complicate matters for yourself? Still chatting here? Hurry and run. The audience felt that Mr. Han was about to pull off something astonishing once again. To be honest, I run a funeral home. Did you know? A few days ago, a man suddenly passed away without pre-ordering a coffin, and now he has to wait in line for half a year. How unfortunate. That man is truly pitiful. One female officer lamented. Half a year. The body will have decomposed by then. So, comrades, I have a grand gift for you today, Han Li exclaimed, pulling out a stack of promotional flyers from his bag. We offer comprehensive funeral services. Whatever you need, we can accommodate. If you recharge 998 now, you will receive a crystal coffin for free. Yes, you heard correctly. For just 998, you need not worry about suddenly passing away without a timely burial. Han Li flashed a mischievous grin. Wouldn't you like to prepare for such an eventuality? The officers were left speechless. The live stream audience echoed their confusion. A funeral home? Comprehensive services? A crystal coffin? Is this business being pitched to us officers? The live stream erupted with excitement. They're here to apprehend you. How can you play around like this? The neighboring funeral home exclaimed in disbelief. This is truly absurd. I bow to your ingenuity. I shall never boast in front of Mr. Han again. Hey, buddy, care to learn more about our funeral services? Han Li teased. Who would have thought the officers would encounter someone from a funeral home? This was utterly ridiculous. Why aren't you staying at the funeral home and instead promoting your business at tourist spots? How unfortunate. Hey, comrade, you can't lose anything by buying into this. Step aside. Step aside. If you keep bothering us, I'll unleash my dog on you. The officers scrambled away as if fleeing from a plague. Then, the most astonishing scene unfolded before the audience. Han Li was in pursuit, while the officers ran ahead. Wait a moment. Isn't this all backwards? The live stream audience was left utterly astounded. The first time I witnessed a criminal fleeing from the police was a peculiar spectacle. The farthest distance in the world is not measured in miles, but rather in the tragic irony of someone being right before your eyes while you remain oblivious. That year, I, Han Li, strolled with my hands tucked into my pockets, exuding an air of invincibility. The police officers were visibly shaken. This audacious individual was still pursuing them. Please, we don't need this. One officer pleaded. Wait, if we pull together, we can get a discount. At that moment, a contestant from a nearby show was counting the cash from a stolen wallet, whistling nonchalantly. Suddenly, he spotted a police dog bounding towards him, followed closely by several officers. Alarmed, he turned and fled. What's wrong with that guy? An officer keenly observed the suspicious man. Stop. The man bolted, thinking, am I a criminal? Why would I not run? Am I supposed to wait for you to catch me? However, he underestimated the officer's stamina, and before long, they had caught up with him. Why are you running? One female officer brandished a specialized firearm. The man, desperate, cursed, damn it, you found me. Then let us make it a fight to the finish. He brandished a custom dagger, lunging towards the only female officer among them. She reacted swiftly, narrowly evading his attack. The man, startled, realized he had miscalculated. Yet, at that moment, his eyes caught a glimpse of a bespectacled figure who appeared weak and unassuming. Perfect. A timely opportunity. He swiftly changed his target, crashing into the bewildered Han Li, and spun around, pressing the dagger against his throat. Move, and I'll kill the hostage. He threatened. The officers were momentarily stunned. This is bad. He has taken a hostage. The man glared at Han Li. Don't move. If you do, I swear I'll end your life. Han Li, bewildered, thought, am I really being held hostage? The livestream audience was equally flabbergasted. Chapter 46, a stunning counterattack. A contestant has taken a fellow contestant hostage? The viewers were left in disbelief. Are you serious? This is absurd. It was unimaginable that I, the illustrious Han Li, would one day be a hostage. Shockingly, the individual had taken a notorious criminal as a hostage. How amusing. Han Li thought to himself, I must hold back my laughter. I am a professional. The man, brimming with arrogance, believed that as long as he controlled this hostage, escape was impossible. The officers, though initially panicked, quickly regained their composure. One officer calmly advised, please, remain calm. If you harm the hostage, you will lose everything. Let us discuss this rationally. He gestured for the other officers to lower their weapons, prioritizing the safety of the hostage above all else. Do not act impulsively. The man gritted his teeth in frustration, exclaiming, damn it, I merely snatched a bag. And look how far you've chased me. Is it really necessary to mobilize so many officers for this? I'm just a petty thief. The officers were momentarily taken aback. No. We are pursuing the notorious criminal Han Li. You seem to be misunderstanding the situation, replied a female officer. The man scoffed, dismissing her words. The viewers in the live stream were thoroughly amused, laughing at his misplaced confidence, believing the officers had come specifically for him. Dude, seriously, it's just a bag. Does it warrant such a response? He waved a specially crafted dagger, threateningly. Don't come any closer. Do you believe I want to harm him? Yet Han Li, the hostage, remained remarkably composed, glancing at the dagger pressed against him with discomfort. Could you please shift that a bit? It's rather uncomfortable, he remarked. The man obliged, asking, is this better? Han Li nodded. Yes, much more comfortable. Please continue. The officers were astonished. What on earth? You're the hostage. Aren't you scared? The viewers were left speechless. Mr. Han, could you at least pretend to be frightened? They were shocked to see him negotiating with the robber. Just as the atmosphere thickened, a sudden ringing broke the tension. Everyone froze. Who hasn't turned off their phone? The officers exchanged glances. My apologies, that's my phone, Han Li chuckled. Could you let me grab my phone to take this call? The robber raised an eyebrow. Are you serious? You're currently being held hostage. Please, just do me this favor. Han Li insisted. Meanwhile, The officers were quietly positioning themselves. Are we ready to move? One officer whispered to a colleague. All set. We deployed numerous officers to capture Han Li, even stationed at the base of the mountain for support. Once he descends, we will surely apprehend him. The lead officer then addressed the robber. How about this? Release the hostage, and we will let you go without pursuit. The man hesitated, his resolve wavering as he asked, will you truly keep your word? The unexpected offer caught him off guard. So, we can skip the negotiations? He was reluctant to lose the prize he had accumulated, having earned several thousand already. Being captured here would mean losing everything. Rest assured, we officers always honor our word, the officer assured him. This further swayed the man. However, unbeknownst to him, the officers were secretly amused, knowing that once the robber relinquished his hostage, escape would be impossible. Just as he was about to agree, Han Li interjected. Brother, don't you wonder why the officers are so willing to let you go? I bet there's another group of officers waiting at the base for you. What? The man was startled. A trap? Glancing around, he noticed the absence of other travelers, realizing that perhaps there truly was an ambush waiting for him. The man surveyed his surroundings and realized Han Li was indeed correct. The police captain was up to no good. A chill ran down his spine as he nearly fell for the ruse. He turned to Han Li and said, thank you, brother. It's a small matter. The police officers were bewildered, and the live stream audience was equally perplexed. What on earth? Are you a hostage? How can you assist the robber? Incredible. I've seen hostages plead for mercy, but never have I witnessed one aiding their captor. What is the distinction between hostage and robber? I can hardly tell them apart anymore. My worldview is collapsing. The police officers were alarmed, realizing there was a traitor among them. This maneuver was audacious. Their composure began to wane. So what? Are we to take on 2 with 4? The female officer turned to her colleagues and asked, is it possible to eliminate both the robber and the hostage simultaneously? The others replied, that could be arranged, but perhaps it's best to refrain. The man shouted in anger, how sinister of you to employ such tactics. I was about to question whether you would kill the hostage, but then I remembered that, without Han Li's reminder, I would have been doomed. Logically speaking, Han Li was his savior. How could he take action against him? This was indeed a dilemma. Han Li, sensing his predicament, spoke up. It's all right, brother. Life has its pressures. I understand your situation. Go ahead and act as you wish. I won't hold it against you. The police officers were astonished. What kind of tone is that? Are you his elder brother? They were utterly confused. Brother, you are indeed my brother, the man thought, tears welling in his eyes. Even while being held hostage, Han Li was still concerned for him. It was genuinely moving. The live stream erupted with excitement. How did this brotherly bond emerge? They were on the verge of releasing him, and yet he responded in this manner? Brothers, say those 2 words aloud. Absurd. Come on, brother, thrust it here without hesitation. Han Li urged. The situation was bewildering. Who could remain unfazed by Han Li's actions? Brother, you are truly a good person, but alas, I cannot betray you. You should leave. I will surrender myself. The man was deeply touched, yet at that moment, he had no other choice. Death awaited him either way. Brother, do you trust me? There is a cable car atop the mountain that can take you away from here. The man exclaimed, brother, you are truly my brother. The police officers were exasperated. I genuinely want to eliminate the hostage. They were frustrated yet cautious. The man was overwhelmed with emotion. This was no mere hostage. This was a father figure. No biological father could be so benevolent. Don't move. I have a hostage. Do not act rashly. He blocked Han Li as they ascended the mountain. The police officers were at a loss for words. It was their first time witnessing a hostage strategizing for the robber. It was exceedingly challenging. Upon reaching the cable car, the man saw a glimmer of hope for escape, far better than descending the mountain. Han Li was abandoned by the police. Come on. Truly, you ought to pay your respects. It would be remiss otherwise. The man turned to the staff and said angrily, start the machine. The workers complied obediently. With a smile, he addressed Han Li. Brother, be careful. The ground is slippery. The staff members were bewildered. Who among you is the robber? This place is too cramped, my friend. You go ahead first. At this moment, the man had completely placed his trust in Han Li. Brother, once this is over, leave me your number, and we shall meet again for a toast. The man ascended first. Han Li observed the man's vulnerable back, smirking to himself. Who granted you the audacity to turn your back on me? In an instant, he executed a capture maneuver, locking the man's arms with his hands and ensnaring his lower body with his feet, rendering him utterly immobile. Behold my technique, 7 days of unbreakable affection lock. Once ensnared by me, you shall not escape for 7 days and nights. The man gasped, what is happening? Are we not brothers? The dagger in his hand was swiftly knocked away by Han Li, falling fortuitously at the feet of a nearby staff member. He picked up the dagger and glanced at the 2 grappling on the ground. What's this commotion? Do not move. Chapter 47. I, Han, shall not coexist with evil. The man exclaimed, what the hell? I regarded you as my elder brother, and you betray me at a moment's notice. Han Li boasted, I am unparalleled. If not unparalleled, then unparalleled. Poor Tom, being toyed with effortlessly, witnessed this performance. This is what it means to carry the entire scene, with such psychological resilience and acting prowess. Even psychology professors would kneel in reverence. It was a game within a game. Han, you are my deity. Goodness, I came here to witness espionage, did I? In an instant, the live stream chat erupted with praise. Even the audience had not anticipated that Han Li would employ such a tactic. Damn it, you set me up. The man finally realized. However, it was too late. What are you all standing there for? Capture the criminal. Oh, the staff rushed over, pressing the dagger against the man's neck. In that moment, the man ceased to struggle. With the blade poised at his throat, any slight movement could spell his doom. It seemed he had no choice but to resort to that one plea. Brother, spare me. Let us leave some room for reconciliation. We may meet again in the future. The man raised his hands, tears streaming down his face. He was genuinely afraid of this individual. How contradictory. Han Li raised an eyebrow. Then I shall not be merciful. Brother, why would you choose a life of crime? Does your conscience not ache? I am here to guide you towards redemption. You ought to be grateful, understand? This statement left the elder brother utterly bewildered. The audience in the live stream listened in astonishment. Goodness, is it truly appropriate for you to utter such words? Do remember, you are also currently defrauding corporate executives. The crowd murmured, what audacity, truly unparalleled. Unrepentant, the ultimate rogue. Does your conscience not ache for your misdeeds? Luo Xiang interjected. What are you all doing? Take notes. You think Han lacks shame? Incorrect. He is preemptively preventing crime. This is a matter of the heart. Do you comprehend? The man's expression was blank. Goodness, you truly have no shame. Brother, I am genuinely in need of money, which is why I participated in this program. Please, have mercy on me. If what you say holds true, then in the future, anyone who commits a crime could simply claim they are in a difficult situation. And what purpose would the law serve then? Han Li's tone resonated with that of a principled inspector. This is utterly perplexing, he continued, articulating a point that was indeed quite valid. What on earth is happening? A police inspector approached, reporting the events that had transpired earlier. The squad leader, initially unfazed, began to exhibit signs of shock as he listened. So, you mean to say that the robber took a hostage, and the hostage assisted him in confronting you? Yet they are not actually in cahoots? Is this some sort of joke? This plot is so absurd that even a fool could not conceive it. It is true. The female inspector reluctantly admitted, gritting her teeth in acknowledgement. The squad leader's eyelids fluttered in disbelief. Damn it, they are acting like brothers with the robber. Does this mean we still need to rescue the hostage? They might take the cable car up the mountain and escape. Should we pursue? The female inspector inquired. After a moment's hesitation, the squad leader resolved, yes, we must pursue. Regardless of the circumstances, the hostage's safety is paramount. Indeed. Head, may I execute the hostage? The female inspector was visibly displeased with Han Li. Do not act impulsively. Hey, how dare you speak like that? No, Captain, look over there. Several inspectors turned their gazes in unison, subsequently left in stunned silence. Shock had reached its zenith. My neck hurts. Of course it does. That has to be expected. Be honest, and do not attempt any tricks. Han Li barked sternly as he restrained the robber. Upon spotting the inspectors, he called out, comrades, I have delivered the robber to you. The scene resembled a delivery service. Yet, how could the hostage transform into a robber, and he into a hostage? A role reversal? The inspectors were taken aback. Could you possibly showcase more prowess? When you left, you were at their mercy, and upon your return, you are brimming with confidence. Even bringing back the robber's dagger. Are you truly a hostage? Goodness, I never would have guessed this fellow was so skilled. Is there a master among us? Upon closer inspection, he appeared rather handsome. The inspectors exchanged glances with the female inspector. Who was it that suggested executing the hostage? The woman's demeanor shifted dramatically. A transformation too frightening to behold. Captain, it seems we may not need to intervene after all, one inspector remarked, a note of resignation in his voice. The squad leader wiped the sweat from his brow, gazing at the smiling young man who had subdued the robber. How terrifying, he mused. Arrest him. The female inspector rushed forward, handcuffing the man, and then bashfully remarked to Han Li, you are truly remarkable. Of course, after all, I have sworn to oppose evil for all my days. Pride illuminated Han Li's face. The female inspector found him increasingly appealing. From the moment I laid eyes on you, I sensed your inherent sense of justice. The inspectors exchanged bewildered glances. Oh my, this dialogue is utterly mind-boggling. I have never encountered such brazen audacity. Good heavens, you are the top of the criminal list. Do you not feel a pang of conscience saying such things? Madness, pure madness. The officers exclaimed. This fellow resembles a police chief even more than we do. Han Li retorted, shallow thinking. My actions, driven by a desire to eradicate crime, are beyond your comprehension. Luo Xiang remarked. Han Li, we should have a conversation when time permits. The female officer's eyes sparkled with admiration, realizing she had misjudged Han Li. Thank you for your contributions to society. Indeed, my comrade, once we return to the precinct, we shall duly commend you. Truly a model citizen. A model citizen? Are you serious? Officer, he is practically a 5-star criminal. Today, I, Han Li, have transformed into a 5-star model citizen. Can you believe it? 666. I shall take my own life to celebrate Han's triumph. The officers took away the reluctant female officer along with the criminal, just as they were about to depart. Han Li's expression suddenly shifted. Stop. Chapter 48. A mysterious gift from the production team? Is there anything else? Han Li inquired. I recall that a citizen who assists the police in apprehending a criminal is entitled to a reward of 60,000 yuan. The officers and audience responded. Team leader, is this your version of justice? Goodness. The hostage, in pursuit of monetary gain, bound the robber. Han Li insisted. I assure you, my motives are not monetary. I regard wealth as mere refuse. Ah, this villain is indeed contemptible. Big brother, damn, are we in the same profession? The officers were left bewildered. The team leader scratched his head, realizing that Han Li had indeed pursued the reward. It was of no consequence, after all. He had single-handedly captured the criminal. Xiao Li, go fetch the reward. The female officer named Xiao Li appeared somewhat disheartened, feeling disappointed in Han Li. The noble intentions she had previously believed were merely a facade. Here, take it. Han Li accepted the 60,000 yuan with a smile, saying, I have matters to attend to, so I shall take my leave. Farewell, comrades. In any case, thank you for your assistance. You may return to your duties. The team leader amiably shook hands to bid farewell. The female officer gazed at his departing figure, sighing, how utterly perplexing. I came to capture the fugitive Han Li, only to inadvertently apprehend a petty thief. The most infuriating part is that the robber was captured by the hostage herself. All right, let us return this criminal. While the rest continue searching for Han Li's whereabouts, the team leader instructed. Damn it, this Han Li is truly cunning. After all these days, there are no leads. He is well hidden. In truth, Han Li was right before your eyes, sir. Han Li mused. Let me share a jest. I just received 60,000 yuan as a reward from the police. Why is it that every time, the truth lies so close yet remains unseen? Meanwhile, upon returning to the pavilion on the mountain, Han Li's mind was filled with the familiar sound of the system notification. Congratulations, host, for successfully committing multiple crimes. Reward skill, Herbal Master. Herbal Master. Mastery over all knowledge pertaining to plants, capable of concocting any potion. In the next moment, a wealth of botanical knowledge and techniques for potion formulation flooded Han Li's mind. After a considerable time, he finally regained his composure, displaying a look of astonishment. This skill, if applied within the realm of illicit substances, would undoubtedly yield tremendous profits. What a marvel! Just give me 5 minutes, and I can conjure up 10 pounds for you. Is it merely my illusion, or does it seem as though the system is guiding me step by step towards greatness? There appears to be no turning back. At that moment, a message arrived on my phone. Upon inspecting it, I recognized it as a communication from the infiltrator I had placed within the ranks. Yanqing, the Major Crimes Unit has made no progress under my interference, rest assured. Well done, Comrade Yanqing. Keep up the good work. The live stream exploded with excitement. What a commendable continuation. If only you would consider a leadership role, it would be a great loss for you, Mr. Han. Those unaware might assume you are combating malevolent forces. Remarkable. Such ideological awareness. I, Mr. Han, have quite the knack for brainwashing. Yanqing, within the confines. Han Li's presence pervades. Alas, the delicate blossoms have been ruthlessly crushed. Ever since that criminal was apprehended, the authorities ceased their lockdown of the scenic areas. Gradually, the tourists began to arrive in greater numbers, chattering away. The more, the merrier. It facilitates my movements. Han Li sought a secluded spot, preparing to extract his phone to respond to Wang Defa. Suddenly, a deep voice emerged from beside him. Greetings, competitor Han Li. Goodness. You? The ninja? Yes, it is I, the ninja. Here we meet again, competitor Han Li. The staff member, adorned with a cap and mask, whispered, I have brought you a gift. A gift? Han Li was taken aback. Would the production team truly send him a gift? A weasel wishing a chicken well. There must be ulterior motives. The staff member responded. Do you truly view the production team in such a disparaging light? It is not money. I refuse to accept it. The mysterious figure produced an unopened envelope and handed it to Han Li before departing without further conversation. Han Li examined the envelope, furrowing his brow. What could this be? The pristine white envelope bore an imprint resembling a small angel. It felt significant. Chapter 49, The Hidden Easter Egg. Han Li gingerly explored the envelope and slowly opened it. Could it be that the production team, recognizing his exceptional prowess, had secretly gifted him money? Perhaps $1 million check awaited him. However, upon unveiling the contents, he found, damn it, just a piece of paper. Nothing else accompanied it. A single sheet? How miserly. Han Li noticed several lines inscribed on the paper. Congratulations, competitor Han Li. You have eliminated a certain contestant and triggered the Easter egg, Angel. Following this was an unfamiliar address. Clue, the gathering place of the Angel members. Angel, what on earth is that? It sounded akin to a clandestine club. Han Li found himself perplexed. Suddenly, a spark of inspiration ignited within him. While he might be in the dark, perhaps the authorities would possess some knowledge. Thus, he sent a message to Yanqing, inquiring if she was aware of the angel. Soon he would know. The other party responded. I found information regarding angels in the police archives. It is a major organization dedicated to trafficking illicit goods, operating in various cities. Each member bears the tattoo of an angel. Thus they refer to themselves as the agents of angels, essentially degenerates profiting from drugs. Goodness. Han Li felt a shiver run down his spine. Such a formidable entity. The production team sent this information, implying that he could now access such matters? Incredible. Although this program permits contestants to simulate common criminal activities, certain crimes are strictly prohibited, such as trafficking in illicit goods. If a contestant were to sell prohibited items to the public, it would be a serious issue. Yet, at this moment, the production team provided him with this clue. Why? Hanley pondered carefully. Since it was a gift, it must be due to something he had done. If he had a distinguishing factor compared to other contestants, indeed, it was the elimination among contestants. Hanley recalled that he had apprehended quite a number of criminals thus far. So that was it. Those high-level crimes were not genuinely forbidden, but rather required the elimination of a certain number of contestants to unlock. The production team truly knows how to play the game. This is a significant business opportunity. He needed to return and contemplate deeply. Hanley carefully stored the envelope containing the angel contact. Of course, Hanley's true intention was to prevent such criminal activities from occurring. The viewers in the live broadcast were collectively astonished. No way. Our Han is catching criminals. And in the process, triggering hidden Easter eggs in the show? This is utterly absurd. Who would have thought that while everyone believed Han was on the first level, he was actually in the stratosphere? Incredible. The show has hidden rules. Han is the best. I want to give Han a child. I'll go first. However, does Han truly understand illicit goods? Everyone paused. Indeed, while selling such items may be easy, engaging in it is extremely challenging and requires extensive specialized knowledge. Where would an ordinary person learn this? Sigh. What good is it for Han to have the authority to traffic illicit goods? It's still useless. Just as the audience in the live stream lamented for Han. He was, in fact, overjoyed. Ordinary people would not delve into such matters. But I have a system. What could possibly go wrong? A little boy ran up to him, filled with admiration, saying, "Uncle, I heard you caught a criminal. That's amazing." Hanley crouched down and smiled, saying, "Little one, do you see those police uncles coming down the mountain? Yes, they are the true heroes. Without them, we wouldn't enjoy our beautiful lives, would we?" The little boy gazed at the towering figures against the sunset, their shining police badges reflecting brilliantly, his eyes sparkling with wonder. Wow, the police uncles are so handsome. Indeed. One must admit, our Han possesses remarkable awareness and insight. Behold, these are the blossoms of our nation's future. Mr. Han, promoting positive energy must begin with the young. Hanley gently ruffled the boy's hair, unaware that his words had sown a seed within the boy's heart, a seed named justice. Little Bao, you are running around again. My apologies, my child has caused you trouble. A strikingly beautiful woman rushed over and scooped up the boy, delivering a torrent of words. Woo-woo, mommy, please show me some mercy. Be gentle. The boy protested as his mother carried him away. Look at you, my dear. Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be a police chief. The boy exclaimed through tears. You? Forget it, little Bao. I just hope you won't cause trouble for other girls when you grow up, she replied. Little Bao was taken aback. Are you really my mother? Seeing that the time was drawing near, Hanley stood up, stretching his back toward the sun. Ding ding ding. Hello? Curse it. Just now I called you, and you didn't answer. I was nearly frantic. Wang Defa exclaimed, stamping his feet as he reached the mountaintop. Hanley switched to his actor mode, his expression turning cold. If you continue to chatter, I won't hesitate to end this call. Wang Defa immediately cowered. The money is ready. Excellent. Hanley smirked. You see, with just one phone call, I managed to swindle you out of 50 million. This is just a lesson you must learn. Otherwise, it would be a disservice to me. I've packed it all in a bag. You can come and collect it. Hanley nodded. No, I require you to deliver it personally into my hands. What difference does that make? Wang Defa acquiesced. All right, where are you? Hanley replied. Just turn around, and you will see me, Mr. Wang. Wang Defa's heart skipped a beat. The criminal who had kidnapped his daughter was right behind him. Had he been watching me all along? The thought sent shivers down his spine. He swallowed hard and slowly turned his head. What did this kidnapper look like? However, before he could fully turn, a cold object pressed against his waist. Don't move. This thing is prone to misfire. That chilling sensation could be none other than a gun. Wang Defa trembled slightly, cursing inwardly. Had this madman truly brought a firearm? Hanley whispered in his ear. Actually, I have been lying. I did not kidnap your daughter. Wang Defa was taken aback. What? This is all a scam? Have you ever seen a show called Criminal Roleplay? Wang Defa, of course, had seen it, and it dawned on him. He had been deceived. Here he was, a prominent CEO, seasoned by over a decade in the business world, and yet he had been successfully swindled by a mere contestant? The live stream audience erupted in laughter. Ha ha ha, this is too good. Mr. Han has truly mastered the art of psychological manipulation. Wang Defa exclaimed, WTF? Mr. Han, surprise. Was it unexpected? This CEO might just be questioning his very existence. Mr. Han is quite the rascal. Chapter 50. The production team member asked, Mr. Han, are you still accepting disciples? It's impossible. I can't reach Xinya's phone no matter how hard I try. Wang Defa expressed his doubts. If this individual truly did not abduct his daughter, why then was he unable to reach her by phone? Hanley tapped a few times on his mobile screen and instructed him. Now, call your daughter. At that moment, the barrier set on Wang Xinya's phone was lifted, restoring normal communication. Observing this, Wang Defa retrieved his phone and dialed his precious daughter's number once more. Unlike before, this time the call connected after a minute. Hello? Dad? What's going on? You've called me several times, came Wang Xinya's weary voice from the other end. Why are you exhausted? You know how it is. Hearing his daughter's voice brought a hint of moisture to his eyes. Thank goodness nothing has happened. You scare me to death. Wang Defa asked, perplexed. What were you doing? I called you repeatedly, and you didn't answer. I had an upset stomach and was stuck in the bathroom. I just recovered, and am now halfway up the mountain. Wang Xinya had hardly emerged, having been engaged in a relentless struggle. I felt like I was about to disappear. She vowed never to eat anything from strangers again. An upset stomach? Damn it. You almost gave your father a heart attack. Just as Wang Defa was about to respond. He felt the pressure of a gun against him and understood Han Li's intent. It's nothing, just checking in. Hurry home. And it's best if you don't go out again. It's dangerous outside, remember? Got it. She replied before the line went dead. Wang Defa set his phone down. What should I call you? Han Li replied, I am the robber, and you are the hostage, plain and simple. As he spoke, he brandished the previously acquired dagger, pressing it against Wang Defa's neck as a threat. Don't make any sudden movements, Mr. Wang. According to my plan, after I take the money, you simply need to head down the path, and you will encounter your beloved daughter. Do you understand? Wang Defa nodded vigorously. Damn it. This is all too clear. Han Li compelled Wang Defa to open his bag, confirming the cash within. It's all here, 50 million, it's heavy. Rest assured. I anticipated this. Han Li transferred the money into the suitcase he had brought. Once completed, he addressed Wang Defa. I will take this money first. After exchanging it with the staff, they will return it to you. Remember, do not call the police. Understood. As Han Li took a few steps away, he turned back, adding, Oh, Mr. Wang, make sure not to fall for tricks in the future. Keep your wits about you, and teach your daughter a lesson too. Oh yes. I will definitely do that. Once Han Li had left, Wang Defa quickly pulled out his phone, ready to dial 110. Damn it, he exclaimed. I won't heed your advice. Just wait to be caught. Mr. Wang, what are you doing? Damn. Wang Defa stumbled back. Didn't you leave? Han Li shook his head in resignation. TSK. This is why you executives are so petty. Now, clasp your hands behind your head, close your eyes, and count to 1,000. Yes. Wang Defa, this time, dared not disobey and obediently closed his eyes to count. What a calamity. Who is this guy? He thought, as he was relentlessly ushered along. How embarrassing. At that moment, the audience in the live broadcast became aware of Wang Defa's true identity. Astonished to discover that he was indeed the founder of the renowned third-ranked culinary brand, Haidalao Yu. Having attended a prestigious university, he embarked on an entrepreneurial journey immediately after graduation, eventually ascending to the ranks of the top 100 wealthiest individuals in Huaxia, a veritable titan of commerce. Yet, this illustrious figure was deceived by a mere few words from our General Han, losing 50 million, and was further subjected to mockery. Can you believe it? It's as outrageous as a pig climbing a tree. Truly remarkable. I am utterly impressed. Today's antics by General Han were simply exhilarating. In a secluded grove, a staff member asked, Bro, do you still take underlings? Gazing at the bag brimming with cash, he felt tempted. Just days prior, they had swindled several tens of millions from Futian, and today, another 50 million was effortlessly acquired, wealth that would take an ordinary person a lifetime to amass. People were left dumbfounded. One after another, the efficiency was terrifying. Big brother, you're my big brother now. He coughed. Care for a smoke, bro? The staff member even took the initiative to pull out a cigarette, ingratiating himself with Han Li. The viewers in the live stream were rendered speechless. How remarkable must General Han be to elicit such a response from the staff? You can't be serious. Are you really taking this to heart? Not a single chance given. So bold. I couldn't even dare to breathe in front of the staff before. General Han, you are truly my idol. Indeed. The eliminated contestants expressed that General Han was simply transcendent. The staff member was not annoyed. Instead, he chuckled, saying, The money has already been transferred to your account. If you need anything, just let your little brother know, and I guarantee it will be fulfilled. But this money won't be traced, will it? Han Li was quite cautious. Such a large sum transferred would undoubtedly attract the attention of law enforcement. Rest assured, as long as you don't expose yourself, no one will know. Then, I will calculate your criminal points for this endeavor. The staff member tallied the figures. This time, you have accumulated a total of 700 points. You remain in first place, far ahead and utterly invincible. Well, that's acceptable, Han Li replied nonchalantly. Acceptable? The staff member was astonished. Brother, that's 700 points. Almost the total of everyone else combined. You earned an equivalent of several 100,000 in a single day, and you say that's just acceptable? You are truly extraordinary. Don't you want to take an underling? I am far more clever than Xiaozheng. Give me a chance. Han Li responded. Is the production team really so unscrupulous? Seeing this, the staff member had to concede, reluctantly saying, Well, I'll take my leave then. Wait, what is the rush? Perhaps you don't need to leave just yet. Chapter 51. Jiang Taigong fishing, willing to hook dad? What are you doing here? After losing contact with that man, Wang Xinya unexpectedly spotted her father. How could he be here? Sigh, it's a long story, Wang Defa thought helplessly. Reflecting on the past, he remembered how spirited he once was. Now, as a CEO who prided himself on his unparalleled strategies, he found himself outmaneuvered by a young individual. Indeed, the saying holds true. When one is devoid of romantic distractions, one wields a sword with unparalleled prowess. Let us return. On the other side, Han Li busied himself with some task in the vehicle. Mr. Han, are we heading home? Ling Han mused, considering that his well-paying job merely entailed driving for someone else. A task that was exceedingly effortless. However, unbeknownst to him, just moments ago, Han Li had executed a fraud worth 50 million. Upon returning home, Han Li had inquired with his staff, and after receiving their consent, he resolved to proceed. Yes, to continue his fraudulent activities. The production team had previously stated that the definition of fraud was the act of deceitfully extracting money from victims, and thus, once accomplished, it was deemed successful. Moreover, equipped with his multifunctional phone, Han Li need not make another trip to the bank for money laundering. Of course, he harbored no concerns about online tracking, as the production team had assured him of its safety. Ling Han, I require your identification card, he suddenly stated with a sly grin from the back seat. My ID? What do you need that for? It's not like I can secure a loan, Ling Han replied, puzzled. I intend to register a company, with you as the nominal guarantor. Han Li spoke calmly, as if it were a trivial matter. What? A company? Aren't you a criminal? Rest assured, this company is legitimate. You need not concern yourself with its operations. Simply continue your role as my driver, and I will handle the rest. Han Li leaned closer, whispering like a devil. Ling Han, you wouldn't want to find yourself on the streets one day, unable to afford a warm meal, would you? Ling Han was taken aback. Indeed. He earned 1,000 each day, and that money was provided by Mr. Han. If he were to be dismissed, he would truly find himself homeless. This was not a mere proposal. It was a blatant threat. Mr. Han, you wouldn't do this to me, would you? Of course not. We are on the same team. Han Li chuckled, as if his words were entirely sincere. The audience in the live stream erupted in disbelief. Is this man truly attempting to manipulate him? Hasn't he already committed enough betrayal? This is clearly instigating trouble. Oh no, Mr. Han is deceiving even his own people. Is this the realm of no distinction between friend and foe? Ling Han, you fool. This is nothing but bullying the honest. Everyone. If your boss paints a grand picture for you in the future, do not believe it. Here is a piece of knowledge for today. Since Mr. Han has said so, it should be fine, right? Ling Han took out his ID and handed it to Han Li, saying, Mr. Han, I trust you. His eyes seemed to implore. Please do not betray me. Han Li patted his shoulder, resembling a composed leader reassuring his subordinate. Fear not, Ling Han, as long as you follow my lead. You can trust that I have never deceived you. I provide you with a generous salary and an easy job. Rest assured, I shall even assist you in finding a wife. Tears streamed down Ling Han's face. You truly are a wonderful leader, addressing even matters of the heart. He embraced Han Li, weeping profusely. Rest assured, Mr. Han, I shall strive diligently and will not disappoint your expectations. Very well. After Han Li parted ways with Ling Han, he retreated to his chamber and opened his notebook, searching for a previous client list. A few minutes later, he dialed the number of one of the executives, using an unfamiliar number. Hello, the goods transported by your company have been detained by customs due to violations. You must come to the agency to address this matter, or you will bear the consequences. Bang. Without allowing the recipient a moment to respond, Han Li abruptly hung up the phone. He then proceeded to call another executive, delivering the same message. What kind of operation is this? I don't understand. Why hang up immediately? I've prepared my notes, and you show me this? Han Li continued to dial one executive after another. Hello, the goods transported by your subsidiary are suspected of violations and have been detained by customs. Hurry to the agency, or you will bear the consequences. Bang. He hung up without a trace of hesitation. Damn it. If you're going to scam, at least engage in conversation. You're not giving any opportunity. Mr. Han, your approach to scamming is overly simplistic, I assent to it. It's just the same phrase repeated, and I'm already weary of it. As the calls continued, Han Li grew increasingly adept at the process. Now, each call took less than a minute. Fluidly, he spoke and then hung up. The audience in the live stream could not comprehend the purpose of such actions. This was not scamming, it was harassment. Officer, I tell you, there's definitely something wrong, lamented the captured thief to the surrounding officers. Yet, no one believed the words of a criminal. All right, time to disembark. The female officer escorted the suspect to the nearest police station for documentation. They coincidentally encountered Captain Wang Lang. Captain Wang, good to see you. Have you apprehended a suspect so swiftly? The female officer replied with a hint of embarrassment. It was an enthusiastic mission capture. Quite impressive. Nonsense. He is not a civilian at all. With that tone, I assure you he is also a contestant. It's disgusting how he eliminated his own kind. The man was visibly distressed. What? Wang Lang was taken aback. Stop talking nonsense. No, wait, where did you catch him? Tell me everything, quickly. Wang Lang sensed that this case might be connected to Han Li. The eliminated contestant bore a striking resemblance to something Han Li would orchestrate. After a while, Han Li sipped from a bottle of cola, feeling at ease. What the hell? He is actually lounging on the sofa drinking cola. Is he giving up? Mr. Han, aren't you supposed to be scamming? Han Li reclined on the sofa, quietly awaiting the results of the calls he had made. He had nearly contacted half of the executives on his list, uttering the same phrase while emphasizing the term violation. One must wonder, which company owner would not feel a twinge of panic upon hearing that? With so many large corporations, it is inevitable that a few are engaged in dubious activities, particularly those involved in overseas dealings. Once such matters come to light, they would certainly feel unsettled, and naturally, they would take the bait. This strategy resembles Jiang Taigong fishing. Only those willing will take the hook. At this moment, the executives must be growing anxious, Han Li remarked with a sly grin. It won't be long now. Suddenly, the phone that Han Li had set aside began to ring. Chapter 52. First, deceive 50,000. Warm up. Hello, was what you said earlier true? A woman's voice inquired. We have dispatched personnel to detain them. The official documents will be issued shortly. Han Li perfectly mimicked the tone of a law enforcement officer, convincing the woman on the other end of the line. Her voice betrayed a sense of panic. I clearly instructed them not to act recklessly. I never expected this to go awry. This incident has nothing to do with our company. It's the overseas partner's doing. What should I do? I won't dare to do this again. The live stream audience reacted. No way, officer. This can really catch a big fish? Anyone with clear eyes wouldn't fall for it. Yet some executives actually did. Wow, Han, teach me how to live. Impressive. This fishing operation is truly textbook. Han Li chuckled. I've got them firmly in my grasp. It's the simplest and most likely to succeed. He stroked his chin and feigned a sigh. Madam, the law is unforgiving. Please hold on while I check your information. With that, he picked up a nearby soda and took a sip. Checking information while drinking soda? Ha ha. How wild. Han Li set down the soda and spoke into the phone. Ms. Huang Chui. Is that correct? Yes, that's me, officer. I haven't committed any crime. It's the overseas company that is messing with me. Huang Chui was genuinely frightened. If this were to be investigated, her company would likely be doomed. Whether you have broken the law is not for you to decide. We must conduct an investigation first. Ms. Huang, for related matters, you need to go to the police station. I have a special green channel here, and there are others waiting in line. A green channel? Everyone was bewildered. Is that a thing? Han Li subtly implied that if the other party were to go to the police station, it would be quite troublesome. While his side offered a green channel for a quicker resolution, albeit at a cost. My goodness, psychological suggestion followed by customer inducement. Psychology Professor Wang exclaimed. What are you all waiting for? Take notes, students. Indeed, upon hearing green channel, the woman instinctively felt that it would be more convenient than going through the police station in person. Ms. Huang, in 3 seconds, I will end this call. 3, 2. He counted down, providing no time for her to ponder the situation. This was remarkably clever, applying pressure to compel acceptance. Huang Chui, initially considering confirming the outcome, realized she had only 3 seconds and would not let this opportunity slip away. Officer, I also wish to apply for the green channel. I can pay whatever is necessary. Huang Chui thought to herself that if this fellow demanded a large sum, he was most likely deceiving her. All right, Ms. Huang, for the green channel. A payment of 15 units is required. You can proceed via the link or our official account. What? 15 units? Huang Chui could hardly believe it. Is it really just that little? Yes, Ms. Huang, there are others waiting, Han Li urged. Huang Cui, determined to salvage her situation, declared, I will go to the bank. At that moment, a notification arrived on her phone, bearing an official seal from the customs authority. She examined it closely. It appeared legitimate, devoid of any signs of forgery. I will transfer the funds immediately. As she initiated the transaction, she attempted to contact the department responsible for overseas shipping within her company. However, it was too late. Her calls went unanswered. It seemed that the foreign enterprise was plotting against them, perhaps believing they were encroaching on their market, seeking retribution. The more she pondered, the more plausible this scenario became. Previously, the opposing company's CEO had treated her with disdain, his demeanor consistently grim. Thankfully, a police officer had alerted her, or else the consequences of being discovered would have been dire. Once she completed the transfer, she informed the officer, I have sent the money. Can we expedite the process now? Yet, Han Li responded calmly. Very well, you are number 125, Ms. Huang. Please wait patiently in line. I will call you once I have attended to the others. Beep, beep, beep. Huang Cui was bewildered. The audience in the live stream echoed her confusion, remarking on the absurdity of being disconnected repeatedly. Our CEO has truly immersed himself in the role. It feels so authentic. Unable to wait any longer, Huang Cui dialed again. Hello, who is this? Officer, I am Ms. Huang. Could you prioritize my case? I am willing to offer additional compensation. After all, it was a familiar tactic. Those who paid more received quicker service. That is not possible, came the curt reply. Beep, beep, beep. Huang Cui was left speechless. Was money no longer of any use? She had believed this call to be official, beyond the realm of deceit. What kind of swindler operated in such a manner? The audience in the live stream was astounded. This was a masterclass in deception, appearing to scam while concealing the truth, manipulating perceptions to ensnare the unsuspecting. Who could remain unconfused in such a scenario? It was remarkable. Han Li was playing a game of cat and mouse. The phone rang again, and Han Li, clearly irritated, answered, Hello, officer, I am number 125, and I am in urgent need of assistance. Is there any way to expedite my case? Huang Cui felt tears of frustration welling up. This was the first time she encountered a situation where offering money yielded no results. Ms. Huang, others are also in urgent need. How can your case take precedence? Do you not understand? My company is on the brink of collapse, with assets worth billions at stake. Is there not some form of prioritization? There is, Han Li replied, but it is quite complicated. I suggest you go to the police station for assistance. Huang Tsuetsue felt a flicker of hope. No problem. I demand priority. Arrange it for me. With a sigh, Han Li stated. If you wish to secure a priority green channel, a deposit of 500,000 is required. Please include your name and ID number with the transfer to our official bank account. Once we have processed your case, the amount will be refunded promptly. Ms. Huang, I still advise you to wait patiently in line. 500,000. She could afford that. For the future of the company, what is this mere 500,000? Without hesitation, she transferred the sum as previously arranged. Officer, I have sent the money. Can I now receive priority processing? Han Li smirked. Hell, woman. 500,000 in hand. Surely she cannot be that naive? I can do it too. Just say the word. Indeed, the wealthy are different. President Han, can I learn and sell on the spot? Upstairs, dare you? One report, and it's over. Goodness. Watching President Han's live stream, one might strike it rich. Only to end up in jail the next day, and then hosting a banquet the day after. Dream on. In a few days, such scams will likely cease to be effective. Luo Xiang remarked, everyone, do not be deceived by Ms. Huang's apparent foolishness. In reality, there are countless cases even more absurd, driven by fear that leads to irrationality. Just when all the spectators assumed Han Li would abscond with the money, he did not conclude the fairy tale. What a joke. The real show has only just begun. This is merely a warm-up. Chapter 53. The inspector with a crime resolution rate exceeding 90% Han Li said, Ms. Huang, our officials have received your remittance information and will prioritize your case. Huang Tsuetsue pleaded, please, let the inspector communicate with me. Han Li activated a voice modulation app on his phone. After several long minutes, he finally spoke. Hello, Ms. Huang Tsuetsue, is it? At that moment, Han Li's voice transformed into that of a seasoned inspector, deep and authoritative, yet convincing. Huang Tsuetsue, anxious, retorted, Officer, my company may have been deceived by an overseas firm. It appears you had a goods order with an overseas company in February? Yes. What was being shipped? Huang Tsuetsue hesitated, contemplating whether to answer truthfully. Suddenly, Han Li raised his voice. Ms. Huang, tell me what you were shipping. His tone mirrored that of an inspector interrogating a suspect. Startled, Huang Tsuetsue quickly replied. A batch of chemical materials. This batch was prohibited domestically, which is why she had covertly enlisted the aid of an overseas company for transportation. She thought this would allow her to evade domestic customs scrutiny, only to be discovered nonetheless. We have detected numerous illegal components in your shipment, with substandard indicators. According to the latest criminal law, you will face severe penalties. Penalties? Huang Tsuetsue cautiously inquired. Officer, how severe? Imprisonment for 10 to 15 years. Her heart sank. Are you currently out of town? No. Very well. Hurry and take a taxi to the new customs office. We will be waiting for you. There was no room for refusal. Huang Tsuetsue grew increasingly frantic. This was disastrous. Officer, is there still hope for me? Your situation is complex, involving foreign enterprises. Perhaps there is an opportunity to apply for bail, but the prerequisite is that this batch of goods does not belong to your company. Huang Tsuetsue dared not forfeit this chance and resolutely stated, I wish to apply for bail. Ms. Huang, are you certain? Yes. Prior to this, you need to transfer 1 million as a security deposit into our customs bank account. Otherwise, I cannot apply for your bail. Furthermore, you are under constant surveillance from us. So refrain from making any unnecessary moves. Han Li's tone was stern. It sounded quite serious, but upon closer inspection, he himself realized that his reasoning was flawed, and it was merely a ruse to swindle money from you. However, this was of no consequence. For Han Li had never directly demanded money. He merely guided the woman to willingly submit it. Moreover, he consistently associated himself with government authorities, significantly bolstering his persuasive power. Gradually, the woman had fallen into his trap, with no recourse but to trust him, almost succumbing to his sort of obsession. Logic was the last thing on her mind. As Han Li had anticipated, the woman's voice trembled. The thought of serving 15 years in prison made her heart race incessantly. I will transfer the money immediately. Then come to you, officer, Huang Tsuetsue exclaimed, having lost her composure, eager to resolve this troublesome matter. Ding dong, 1 million transferred. Han Li smiled at the notification on his phone. People nowadays have no sense of caution. They are so easily deceived. He picked up the phone and said to the other end, that's it, Ms. Huang. Hurry over. I'm waiting for you. Waiting for you, my foot. Click. He hung up, holding his head and whistling. In just over 10 minutes, he had effortlessly earned over 1 million. Can you believe it? The viewers in the live stream were left dumbfounded. Well, it seems that scamming is quite straightforward. In mere minutes, it starts at hundreds of thousands. My heavens. Is it really that easy to make money in this line of work? Nonsense, I've done it before. Swindling an elderly lady out of a few hundred took me days and nights. There's no way it's as outrageous as what President Han is doing. Watching President Han's live stream, it seems money has lost all value. That said, we must remain vigilant in the future. Whenever we encounter any law enforcement personnel, we must first verify their identity. Huang Tsuetsue, I've arrived. Where are you? Ha ha ha, the comments are killing me. What's in it for you? Ring ring. Just as Han Li lay down, his phone rang again. Let us not forget, he had made numerous calls previously. Hello? Officer, I was framed by someone else. I'm innocent. A man exclaimed hysterically. Han Li coughed a few times. We recommend you visit the local police station. The same words, the same process. The viewers in the live stream felt their scalps tingle. This fish is never-ending. Goodness, it's a production line, isn't it? President Han, the master of continuous fraud. One by one, executives were jumping into Han Li's trap, unable to extricate themselves. At a certain airport in Sichuan, Director Jiang checked his watch, dressed in plain clothes. His smile radiant. It appeared he had something to celebrate, accompanied by Wang Zhigua, who had come along with him. The two individuals stood upright, gazing toward the exit. Director Jiang has yet to arrive. You are obstructing others, one remarked. Oh, I'm simply overwhelmed with excitement. Director Jiang offered a sheepish smile. Wang Zhigua found it amusing. Look at your eagerness. You resemble a stone waiting for a husband. He recalled the last time they were here, reviewing Han Li's criminal record. Suddenly, passengers began to disembark. Jiang and Wang squeezed into the crowd. This way, this way. Amidst the throng, a man clad in a windbreaker, his demeanor calm, noticed them. Director Jiang. Long time no see. Team Leader Wang. He exclaimed, setting down his luggage and saluting the two. The trio exchanged glances before embracing. Li Yi, you've become even more dashing, Jiang remarked, his smile broadening as he surveyed the young man. Li Yi chuckled. Where's that coming from? Let us walk and chat. Goodness, isn't that Li Yi? He is actually back home. A journalist gasped, eyes wide as he observed Jiang and his companions. A nearby colleague, puzzled, inquired. Is he that famous? Of course. Haven't you read international magazines? He is listed among the top 10 outstanding police officers worldwide. The colleague was taken aback. To make that list, you must have a case resolution rate exceeding 90%. What does that mean? It's nearly a guaranteed capture. It's worth noting that in recent years, few from Huaxia have made the cut. And he did. Not only that, during his time studying in the M country, he apprehended an international fugitive in just 3 days. Wow, he is quite impressive. The journalist suddenly recalled something, raising an eyebrow. He was previously with the Danyang Police Bureau. Do you think he might encounter Han Li next? The man dubbed the ultimate bandit? If that happens, it would be explosive. The thought stirred excitement. Huaxia's strongest young police officer versus the unparalleled criminal. Chapter 54. I've got you. Let us go capture Han Li alive. Come. Get in the car, Wang Zhigua said as he opened the door. The three entered the vehicle. Team Leader Wang, I can understand Director Jiang coming to pick me up, but I didn't expect you to be here as well, Li Yi remarked, fastening his seatbelt. In his mind, Wang Zhigua was a workaholic who rarely took time off. There must be something more to this. Sure enough, Wang Zhigua spoke with a knowing tone. Traveling abroad changes a person. Here, take a look at this document. The paper bore a single line, the life of a bandit, accompanied by an image of a cute Peppa Pig. Li was taken aback. Since when did the police bureau start to incorporate humor? He opened the document and began to read slowly. Having spent so much time abroad, he had seen countless cases and notorious criminals, having even apprehended a few himself. How formidable could this bandit truly be? A few minutes passed. Li Yi, what's wrong? You look unwell, Jiang inquired with concern, though inwardly he chuckled. Wang Zhigua feigned ignorance as well. What's the matter? Are you feeling dizzy? Li Yi, with a hint of irritation, remarked, are you two deliberately seeking to make a fool out of me? Rest assured, my mental fortitude is quite resilient. So, what of this criminal? Quite formidable indeed. Both Director Jiang and Wang Zhigua were taken aback. Good heavens. For Li Yi, a figure recognized among the world's top 10 exemplary officers, to commend him so, Han Li must be truly remarkable. Setting aside his audacity, the capabilities Han Li possesses alone are enough to give me a headache. He is meticulous, decisive, and adept at manipulating human emotions. I can scarcely believe he merely plays the role of a common criminal. Internationally, criminals are classified by levels of danger, ranging from 1 star to the highest, 7 stars. Based on Han Li's current case, a 3-star rating seems entirely justified. What does that entail? It necessitates the mobilization of an entire police department to apprehend him. Now I understand. Upon my return to the country, you wish for me to participate in this operation to capture the notorious Han Li? No wonder the leadership has remarked on your promising future, Jiang. Look at the awareness you possess. Indeed, with your presence, our police force would be greatly enhanced. Li felt helpless. He had initially planned to rest. It seems I have no choice but to comply, do I? That is indeed the case. Wang Zhigua chuckled. Resembling a trafficker pleased with a successful deal. You still think you can escape? Little Li, you have no idea how audacious Han Li is. I hope you can help us teach him a lesson. In simpler terms, it was about reclaiming their dignity, wasn't it? Team Leader Wang, Director Jiang interjected. You dare to speak so candidly. Li Yi organized the documents. While he acknowledged the impressive skills of this contender, based on his years abroad, he felt it was merely an inconvenience. Very well, I shall acquiesce to your request. Fantastic. Our police force is saved. At that moment, Wang Lang observed Wang Defa sipping tea across from him and pondered. So, you are saying you were deceived by that individual for 50 million? Indeed, it truly was him. Wang Lang's expression grew grave. Based on the description provided, this fraud case was likely the handiwork of Han Li. Has this fellow begun his deceitful schemes? The troubling aspect is that while most fraudsters operate incrementally, he boldly initiated with 50 million? Unbelievable. To be candid, I, Wang, have seldom fallen victim in my lifetime. Yet this individual is distinctly different. He expertly manipulates emotions, identifies weaknesses, and executes with precision and efficiency. Even now, Wang Defa recalls the event with trepidation. Thankfully, the encounter was merely a facade. Had it been genuine, he would have regretted it too late. By the way, if you manage to capture him, please extend my gratitude. Wang Defa added. Wang Lang was bewildered. You were swindled to this extent, and you still wish to thank the fraudster? Wang Defa noticed his astonishment and explained. Thanks to him, I have heightened my vigilance. I've become more cautious and now arrange for bodyguards for my daughter daily to ensure her safety. Had it not been for this incident, I might have fallen prey to a genuine criminal. Ah, that makes perfect sense. No wonder he is referred to as a walking textbook on crime prevention online. All right, Mr. Wang, you may take your leave now. Creak. At that moment, a female police officer entered. Oh, Captain Yin, how is the surveillance check coming along? Wang Lang hurriedly rose to his feet, urging Yin Qing to investigate the footage in the hope of uncovering some clues. Yin Qing nodded, her voice calm as she replied, I found something. But it's very limited. The suspect's counter-surveillance awareness is quite strong. Oh, is that so? The surveillance footage only revealed a vague silhouette. Wang Lang compared it with previous photos, and judging by the figure alone, it was undoubtedly Han Li. However, once again, they failed to capture his face. Damn it. He slammed his fist in frustration. Every time the surveillance failed to capture this brat's true visage. It's infuriating, wouldn't you agree, Captain Yin? Yin Qing's heart skipped a beat. She turned her head and softly concurred. Indeed, he is exceedingly cunning. The audience in the live stream erupted with laughter. High emotional intelligence. Han Li is truly sly. Low emotional intelligence. Actually, I'm the mole. If you can find me, then it's really a ghost. Bro, come read this aloud with me. Ridiculous. Han Li remarked, everyone around you is my person. What are you even playing at? However, just as Yin Qing felt a sense of relief, Wang Lang, who was repeatedly reviewing the surveillance records, furrowed his brow. Captain Yin, something is missing. Missing what? Wang Lang stood up, his gaze fixed intently on Yin Qing, as if trying to penetrate her thoughts. If Han Li came here, he must have used some form of transportation at the entrance of the scenic area. Why is there no surveillance footage from this location? It doesn't add up. Yin Qing silently cursed herself for having overlooked this detail. I'll go check it now. No, you should focus on something else. I can have someone else handle this. Reviewing the surveillance is a trivial matter. Wang Lang declined her offer, assigning one of his subordinates to retrieve the footage from the monitoring room. Oh no, Captain Yin. Aren't you going to attend to other matters? All right. Yin Qing left the office, her teeth clenched in frustration, knowing she had made a blunder. Previously in the monitoring room, she and T cleared everything thoroughly. She quickly sent a message to her superior. Before long, Wang Lang's subordinate entered the office, presenting him with the surveillance footage from the entrance, where a throng of people obscured any identification of which vehicle Han Li had used. However, Wang Lang was a man of great patience. He quietly and methodically scrutinized every detail on the screen. Eureka! After more than an hour, Wang Lang finally identified a point of interest. He magnified a specific area repeatedly. On the screen appeared an expensive luxury sedan. A man in a tailored suit exited the vehicle, subsequently opening the door for another person. Although this individual was somewhat obscured, it was unmistakably Han Li. Got it. Wang Lang's expression lit up with excitement as he zoomed in on the vehicle's license plate. Quick, someone note this down and locate this sedan immediately. Well, Han Li, did you ever think your luck would run out? Capturing this vehicle is tantamount to capturing the man himself. They could leverage the power of the cyber police to track him down, at any time and in any place. The movement of vehicles can be monitored down to their precise locations. Report, positioning successful. Wang Lang rose, casting his gaze upon the surrounding officers. His voice resonating. Ladies and gentlemen, follow me to apprehend the old thief Han. Let us depart. Chapter 55. This wave of stealth has the advantage in my favor. Is establishing a company truly this troublesome? Han Li fiddled with the intricacies of starting a business on his laptop. However, he was astounded by the complexity of the process. At the very least, it would take a month and a half to finalize. Would he even be able to endure until then? After pondering for a few minutes, Han Li closed his laptop, retrieved a sugary beverage, and reclined in relaxation. He decided to simply let things unfold as they may. Ding 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 at that moment. His phone received a message. Han Li picked it up and instantly sat upright. Yin Qing, I made a mistake. The officer has pinpointed the location of your vehicle and is currently en route to you. WTF? Han Li felt a surge of frustration. He never anticipated that the officers could trace his license plate with such ease. Surely, they must possess extraordinary sight. Han Li, understood. What should I do? Remain calm. Just as everyone expected him to flee, Han Li calmly picked up his phone and dialed a number. Even now, you still have time to make a call. The viewers in the live stream were anxious on his behalf. The officers were heading straight to his hideout. Hurry and run, Mr. Han. Why are you still making trivial calls? The call was swiftly connected. Hello, Mr. Han, what is it? Xiao Han, my laptop mouse is broken. Could you go to the store in the northern part of the city and buy a new one for me? Also, please grab me some stinky tofu from the east side. Ling Han. The north, and then to the east? Mr. Han, are you serious? Even a donkey wouldn't be given such orders. No. Here as 5,000 as running money. Mr. Han, rest assured, I will return. And the stinky tofu will be piping hot. Beep, beep, beep. Han Li hung up the phone. The bait was set. Then, he set a timer on his phone. Countdown, 3 hours. The viewers were astonished by this scene. Wow, this is like walking the dog. Officer, strange, why has the fuel run out while pursuing? Wang Lang. Damn it, he even calculated the escape time precisely. This is outrageous. I asked who else could do this. Ling Han was happily listening to a song about love, pleasantly surprised. Who knew that buying a mouse and a portion of stinky tofu for Mr. Han could yield a profit of 5,000? It felt like a pie falling from the sky. Mom, you can rest assured. My work is going exceptionally well now. Ling Han spoke into the headset. Aren't you in real estate anymore? Real estate hardly yields any profit. Now I earn 1,000 every day. As long as I help the boss drive, it's quite easy. However, the person he was assisting was currently a criminal wanted throughout the city. But that was of little consequence. Is that so? I've heard that executives of large companies tend to manipulate their subordinates, Han remarked. You mustn't fall for it. Ling Han, feeling quite contemplative, replied, rest assured, Mr. Han is a good person. He even awarded me a bonus of 150,000 last time. Really? His mother, upon seeing the picture sent by her son, felt elated. That's wonderful. Work hard. Since you've accepted his money, you mustn't be lazy, understood? I'll take good care of Grandma. So don't worry. All right, I'll hang up now. Remember to drink plenty of water, Han reminded. Ling Han responded, I have things to attend to, Mom. And removed his earphones, glancing at the police cars that had suddenly intercepted him. What is going on? Why are they stopping me? A police officer approached with purpose. Officer Wang knocked on the car window. Get out. Ling Han quickly realized that these were not just any officers. They were from that so-called criminal role-play show. Something felt amiss. He opened the car door and stepped out. What is the matter, officer? Is this the vehicle? Wang inquired of his subordinate. One officer compared Ling Han's license plate number with the one captured on surveillance, confirming, yes, this is the one, Chief. Wang's expression shifted to one of triumph. Finally caught you, you little rascal. He seized Ling Han by the collar, his face a mask of fury. Damn it, Han Li. Where do you think you're trying to run off to? Han Li? Ling Han was taken aback. Oh no, am I once again a pawn for Mr. Han? This is outrageous. That 5,000 was truly a running fee. Mr. Han, you truly have no scruples. He had suspected that Mr. Han could not be so benevolent. It was all a conspiracy. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ling Han feigned ignorance, realizing he was inextricably linked with Mr. Han. Wang, surprisingly, found humor in the situation. Stop pretending. I know you can disguise yourself as someone else. Han Li, we've been tracking you from the north of the city to the east. It's clear you were heading out to the suburbs. Are you really going to deny your intent to escape the city? This guy was caught, and still acting innocent. Just surrender, Han Li. Officer, I have my identification. I am genuinely not Han Li. Ling Han sighed, retrieving his ID from his pocket and handing it to Wang. Wang, with a smirk, retorted, still playing your part, huh? Yet, upon examining the ID, he noted that it indeed bore the name Ling Han along with his identification number. Is this true? Wang scrutinized Ling Han. After the incident at the bathhouse, he was not about to take anyone's word for it. Not even a passing dog would escape his suspicion. This could be a ruse. Perhaps you could even impersonate a dog. Who knows? This ID could be forged. Go check it. Don't move. If you do, I'll shoot. Wang commanded, restraining Ling Han and handing the ID over to his subordinates for verification. Minutes passed. A subordinate approached, his expression grim. He leaned close to Wang Lang's ear and whispered, Chief, it's true. The files contain all of his information. He is indeed not Han Li. Is that so? He truly isn't masquerading as Han Li? The officer replied, I assure you, I am not Han Li. You have apprehended the wrong individual. Ling Han turned away, evading the weapon aimed at him, and smiled. May I take my leave now? I still need to deliver stinky tofu to Mr. Han. Otherwise, it will be cold soon. Chief, should we detain him? No. The officers sighed in frustration, yet felt powerless. Wang Lang clicked his tongue, then reholstered his weapon, returning Ling Han's identification. He patted Ling Han's shoulder and apologized. My apologies. We misidentified you, Mr. Ling Han. You may go. Very well, officer. As Ling Han drove away, the officers collectively sighed. Damn it. The only lead has vanished. How splendid. The group thought they misheard, turning to Captain Wang. What do you mean splendid? Are you all right? Wang Lang replied. Though he is not Han Li, I surmise he possesses some significant connection to Han Li. I intentionally let him go to trace his path back. Therein lies Han Li. The officers were bewildered. Oh, Chief, brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? Yes, following him may lead us to the elusive Han Li. Chief, impressive. Along the way, under the officer's excellent cover, Ling Han remained oblivious to being followed, hurriedly returning. Minutes later, he exclaimed, This is the place. His vehicle was parked in this community. It is highly probable that Han Li is hiding within. The officers disembarked, their expressions grave. Wang Lang drew a specialized firearm and signaled to his team. The operation to apprehend Han Li officially commenced. Unbeknownst to the adversary, we were fully armed. This covert operation was decidedly in our favor. During the 2.5 hours Ling Han occupied himself, Han Li opened the bathroom door and entered. Upon his emergence, the audience was astonished by his transformed appearance. Heavens! Is this even possible? Chapter 56. Come, call me Grandfather Han. When Han Li stepped out, he had become a hunched, elderly man with cloudy eyes. Wielding a cane he had procured from somewhere, he exuded the aura of a quintessential village elder. Who wouldn't be misled? Gone was the image of the refined rogue. The viewers in the live stream erupted in excitement. Isn't this my grandfather? He resembles him so closely. Even as an old man, how is this achieved? Witchcraft. Just by appearances, who would suspect he is merely in his 20s? 4-6, it exploded. Mr. Han, my grandmother mentioned she would like to meet you. Her name is Zhang Tsuehua, and she seeks a companion. Ha ha ha, this is hilarious. My Mr. Han is popular across ages. Han Li gazed at his reflection of the aged man, thoroughly pleased. Young man, I advise you to tread carefully. Even his voice was remarkably frail. Absolutely splendid. Have you grasped it well, young man? How old are you? Is it a matter of disdain towards my brethren? Indeed. Elderly gentleman, do you still possess the exquisite skill known as the 5-strike whip of lightning? Mr. Han, youngster, you lack martial virtue. The officers. Hey, this is a bit excessive. It is nearly time to make a move. Since his arrival, Han Li has managed to deceive no less than 3 million. His achievements are remarkable. Had it not been for the officer's sudden raid, he might have swindled an even greater number of unsuspecting victims. Of course, not everyone falls for such tricks. There are always a few astute individuals with heightened awareness who, after a few minutes, realize that Han Li is nothing but a fraud. They berate themselves. And one executive even clamors for gangsters to come and deal with him. Amusing, isn't it? I have studied grappling. Could he really harm me? Alas, I have merely swindled a few million. Old man, I am not cut out for this. Han Li, with hands clasped behind his back, shook his head and sighed, resembling a weary elder. The audience, watching in astonishment, could hardly contain themselves. Would you like some clarity? A few million. That is indeed a staggering sum. In just 1 or 2 hours, one can amass such wealth by merely sitting around. How could one not envy that? I am filled with rage. Is this even human? Han Li donned the attire of an elder, leaning on a cane as he ambled out of his home. After a few steps, he encountered an elderly lady who was ranting. The youth of today truly lack awareness. They cannot even dispose of their trash properly. Look at this heap of refuse. Whose is it? Han Li exhibited the typical tendency of the elderly to join in on the commotion, interjecting without reservation. Indeed. Today's youth are utterly clueless, unable to discern their waste, and what great deeds can they accomplish. I propose we round them all up for proper re-education. The elderly lady, noticing Han Li, felt a kinship among the aged. Precisely. The young one from apartment 402 ought to be apprehended for proper education. Yes, 402? That is not my residence, is it? Han Li glanced down at the litter on the ground. Was it not the heap of rubbish he had forgotten to dispose of last time? So, they were speaking of me. Good sir, what do you say? Han Li coughed strategically, grasping his cane, indignantly declaring, Yes, indeed. You are a person of discernment, good sir. Absolutely, my dear. What a shameless old fellow you are. The elderly lady, the true culprit, stands before you. The astonished audience flooded the comments with remarks about Mr. Han's age, declaring he no longer requires clarity. Mr. Han, I did not foresee this, but it matters not. After all, being scolded is all that matters. The elderly lady, he is indeed a person of discernment. I scold myself? How wretched. Why did I click on this? I cannot escape. Come, my brethren, let us all pose a grand question mark. After bidding farewell to the elderly lady, Han Li descended the stairs, step by step. Turning the corner, he encountered a rather dire situation. Han Li's eyelids twitched as he beheld over 20 officers, vigilant and fully armed. It was utterly terrifying. Such misfortune was unparalleled. Han Li resigned himself to his fate. Are you all secured? Wang Lang inquired of his subordinates. Report. All exits are sealed, ensuring not even a fly can escape. He emphasized. Most importantly, verify identification. That Han Li is skilled in disguise. He could impersonate anyone. Every exit will only allow egress, not ingress. Anyone who fails to present identification or is found with falsified documents shall be apprehended. No matter your guise, an identification check will render you powerless. Moreover, each exit is manned by a police officer, creating an impenetrable net. Unless you leap from the building, he added with a hint of admiration. Clever indeed. Unlike last time, when Captain Wu merely shouted to charge without consideration. Everyone, we must redeem our honor and capture the old thief. They rallied. Yes, the officers were fervent, eager for action. They ascended the staircase, and only then did Wang Lang notice the elderly man in the corridor. He scrutinized the old man, comparing him to Han Li's features, height, demeanor. Suddenly, Han Li yawned, revealing a set of yellowed teeth, startling the officers. Sir, how long has it been since you last visited a dentist? One exclaimed. Oh no, he made eye contact with Wang Lang. Will he be apprehended? Hilarious. Those yellow teeth are quite the giveaway. Wang Lang observed the old man, laboriously descending the stairs with a cane. This shouldn't be a disguise by Han Li, right? He looks even more elderly than my own grandfather. The resemblance is uncanny. Wang Lang addressed his team. You all head up first. Yes. One officer replied, still concerned. Wang Lang was determined not to overlook even a stray dog. What about you, sir? Just taking a stroll? Oh, where do you reside? Wang Lang prodded. I mean, which unit do you live in? The old man gestured towards a nearby elderly woman. See that lady who just walked by? She's my partner, busy tidying up the corridor. I'm off to fetch her a broom. The old woman waved back with a smile upon recognizing the man. Sir, he's harmless. Let's move on. They appear to be a sweet old couple, one officer remarked. Surely Han Li wouldn't be trying to flirt with her? Wang Lang still harbored doubts, employing his final tactic. Sir, I must apologize in advance. We are currently in a special situation, apprehending a criminal. Therefore, I kindly ask you to cooperate by presenting your identification. Identification. The audience gasped. If Han Li produces an ID, it would spell disaster for him. Panic ensued. Where would he even procure an ID? Wang Lang observed the elderly man, seemingly lost in thought, and raised an eyebrow as he grasped the man's hand, transitioning from a supportive grasp to an arresting hold. It seems as if he is being restrained from leaving. A voice, grave and commanding, exclaimed, Sir, hand it over. Hand it over. Wishing everyone a happy new year. A small scene unfolds. Han Li and Ling Han were tinkering with a mobile phone. Mr. Han, this phone appears to require facial recognition for unlocking. Indeed. It must be someone as handsome as Wu Yanzu. What? Is there anyone in this world who can match Wu Yanzu's charm? Suddenly, Han Li had a revelation. He glanced at Ling Han, who understood the implication. Are you suggesting? Then, the two slowly turned their heads towards you, the audience. May we borrow your face for a moment? With a swift motion, they raised the phone. Swipe. Unlock successful. Chapter 57. Are you out of your mind? You dare to provoke the officer? Identification check. Oh no, this is bad. Heavens. Mr. Han won't get arrested, will he? Even Jesus would kneel before this. Mr. Han remarked, I am Han Li, and I am quite flustered. Calm down. I've faced storms greater than this. Am I, Han Li, afraid of such trivialities? Prepare for the spotlight. Many of Han Li's fans had experienced countless instances of him refuting their doubts about his prowess. Wang Lang gripped the elderly man before him, his piercing gaze fixated on the old man's facial expressions. Sir, please do not tell me you lack identification. If this old man could not produce it, it would indicate something amiss. In this moment of crisis, Han Li cast a glance at Wang Lang, whose hand was trembling under the grip. Sir, why are you trembling? Suddenly, Han Li staggered, collapsing to the ground, clutching his chest, and emitting a pitiful wail. Oh dear. My hand. It's broken. It's broken. You young man, devoid of any chivalry. I am an octogenarian, and you exert such force. My hand is broken. Oh dear. Let me tell you, my old partner will arrive shortly. If this matter isn't resolved with a few thousand, you can be assured, young man, you won't escape. Wang Lang. What nonsense. Sir, your hand is broken, and you clutch your chest? What kind of nonsense is this? Is there such audacity in provoking an officer? I merely supported you. Nonsense. You gripped me tightly. It hurts terribly. You all must adjudicate on behalf of this elderly gentleman. Wang Lang looked to his fellow officers, only to find their expressions filled with embarrassment. Head, I must be blind. The elderly's bones are inherently fragile. Cough, cough. I shall remain silent. I have seen nothing. What is the meaning of this? I truly did nothing. Wang Lang felt a sense of helplessness. Han Li, seizing the moment, hastily latched onto Wang Lang's leg, wailing, You still dare to argue? Pay up. The viewers in the live stream. Is Mr. Han employing the legendary method of elderly fraud, falling to the ground right there? And who is his opponent? It is an officer. An officer. You dare to provoke them? 666. I am stunned. Please, Mr. Han, could you not be more professional? If your hand is broken, why clutch your chest? Han Li, damn it, pay up. Sunflower Psychiatric Hospital. Contestant Han Li, we welcome you to seek treatment here at any time. Our chief physician is currently watching your live stream every day, eagerly anticipating your visit. The person upstairs, are you trying to make me laugh to death? Han Li, mental illness? Be careful, or I might blow up your hospital. Framing? The officers were taken aback. They had truly encountered such a situation. This elder, does he not know we are police officers? Is he serious? Elder, although you are older, you cannot act so recklessly, can you? Wang Lang was speechless, witnessing the elder complain and throw a tantrum, resembling a child. Indeed, elder, this is not framing. You are delivering us performance metrics. One officer chuckled. No compensation? Han Li clutched his chest, exclaiming, Oh dear, today's youth have no respect for the elderly. Forget it. Forget it, I do not need your money. I, the elder, am going to the hospital. Elder, you have not yet provided your identification, Wang Lang interjected suddenly. What? You still remember that? Han Li activated his actor persona, suddenly transforming into a pitiful old man. Looking at Wang Lang, he said, You fractured my hand. And I won't bother you. But now you are preventing me from going to the hospital? Is this how police officers conduct themselves? It breaks the hearts of the common people. How can this be? How can this be? A group of young men bullying an old man. What is this world coming to? The most impressive part was when Han Li, mid-sentence, wiped away a tear. It was a truly tragic performance. Who could witness this without feeling moved? Are you really willing to let this old man suffer like this? The sudden display of talent left the officers in stunned silence. Observing the elder collapsed on the ground, clutching his left hand, a sense of guilt inexplicably arose within them, as if they had done something wrong. After all, he is an elder, and his health is frail. No matter how formidable Han Li is, he cannot transform from a young man into an old man, can he? For a moment, the officers whispered amongst themselves, causing Wang Lang's expression to darken. Moral coercion. This is going to be difficult. The audience in the live stream was captivated by Han Li's sudden burst of acting. Incredible, truly incredible. My Han Li's acting is unparalleled, effortlessly adapting. First, he threw a tantrum, then played the victim, followed by moral pressure. It was a flawless routine that sent shivers down my spine. Still, the same sentiment prevails. First comes my Han Li, then the heavens. The elders watching were brought to tears. The officers could not bear it. Wang Lang resignedly said, "Elder, fine, I will have someone take you to the hospital." There was no other choice. The elder was in such a state. They were currently live streaming the show, and it would be broadcasted. If they obstructed the elder from going to the hospital, it would leave a poor impression of the police on the public. They would lose their jobs over this. You accompany this elder to the nearby hospital, while the rest of you come with me to apprehend the suspects. Once the elder is well, check his identification and all his information. You are out of your mind. No worries. Once you recover, we will investigate. Today, this identification Wang Lang, shall ensure it is thoroughly examined. Not a single one shall escape. Han Li. What the heck? There are no leaks. The last time, this fellow was rather easy to deceive. Is this what they mean by absence makes the heart grow fonder? However, you still underestimate me. As long as I, Han Li, can step out of this neighborhood, it will be like a fish returning to the vast sea, ready to roam freely. Just like that. Under the leadership of 2 police inspectors, Han Li swaggered out right under the noses of several officers. Comrades, do your best. I believe you will surely catch the criminal. Thank you, sir. We will certainly apprehend the fugitive. To their surprise, the old man even encouraged them. As a result, the officers became even more serious, determined not to let Han Li escape. The viewers in the live stream were in awe, shouting in admiration. That year, I, the old man, strolled out right under the police's noses. What does it mean to be carefree? This is it, Mr. Han. Indeed, the officers are quite earnest. Keep up the good work. You will surely catch Han Li. Haha, this is too amusing. In the transport vehicle, Han Li was treated like a dignitary, enjoying the perks of his status. After all, respect for the elderly is a cherished virtue in our culture. Young fellow, do you have any water? These melons are quite good. Care for a taste? It's hot, please. Turn on the air conditioning for me. Following the 2 police inspectors out of the sealed neighborhood, Han Li reclined in the back seat, munching on seeds and stretching his legs, reveling in the comfort. The live stream audience exclaimed, "Wow, what a true gentleman. This is ridiculously comfortable." The inspectors vowed, "We guarantee that not a single fly will escape." Each time, their performance exceeded the last. Here I am, escaping in the police car. Truly remarkable, Mr. Han. Now, say it loud and clear. Awesome. In front of room 402, a man kicked the door open. Upon finding the room empty, he furrowed his brow and seized Ling Han, demanding, "Where's the tenant you introduced? He owes me over half a month's rent. Where is he?" The man, Hu Delong, was the owner of this complex. After repeatedly urging Han Li for payment with no response, he lost his temper and brought a gang to demand money. "Let me tell you, I'm not one to be trifled with, Ling Han. If you don't pay up, I'll make sure to sell your organs." A scrawny, sharp-faced thug slapped Ling Han's face, his tone menacing. Ling Han was at a loss for words. He had just arrived at the neighborhood and was already being threatened with organ harvesting. "Mr. Han, you've put me in a terrible predicament." At that moment, footsteps echoed from the corridor. The thugs whispered, "What was that noise?" Chapter 58. A joke. Am I, the local enforcer, someone you can bully? "Sir, are you all right?" The young inspector glanced at the elderly gentleman in the rearview mirror. The hospital is still quite a distance away. "Hang in there." Han Li wiped the crumbs from the corner of his mouth and, clutching his chest, groaned. "Oh, thank you, young man. I can still hold on." The officer in the front seat asked, "Young man, could you keep this old man company for a bit?" Han Li glanced at a young man in the passenger seat, who appeared somewhat reluctant. "Hey, my heart just skipped a beat. I'll chat, old man." Han Li chuckled, adopting a tone of feigned wisdom. "How old are you?" 21. "What is your name?" "Lu Chong." "Where do you live?" "Over by Ingdong Road." "Do you have a girlfriend?" "No, I have a daughter." "Quite charming. Interested?" Lu Chong's face flushed. The driving officer was taken aback. The audience in the live stream erupted in disbelief. "Mr. Han, are you not afraid for your life? You're conversing with police officers." They continued, "And where did you get a daughter to introduce to them?" "Isn't that absurd?" The viewers were in an uproar, astonished by Han Li's audacity. "What kind of sorcery is this?" "Lu Chong, your face is as red as a teapot." Lu Chong, feeling confused, waved his hand dismissively. "No need, old man. If you were to become my father-in-law, I might just end up dead on the streets one day." The officer beside him was speechless, still contemplating the old man's unmarried daughter at such a time. Truly, it was heartbreaking. "Wait, are you serious?" "I, Han Li. Have a way with words." Han Li, unfazed, Continued. Lu Chong, you're not that young anymore. You're tall and handsome. How come you still haven't found a girlfriend? I must have a word with your parents. Lu Chong was bewildered. What is going on? I'm at work, right? Why does it feel like I'm here for a blind date? Han Li's chatter showed no signs of stopping, leading the two officers to question their life choices. Han Li wore a cheerful smile, while secretly engaging in undisclosed activities, such as crafting small explosives from materials brought from home. Everyone, we must catch Han Li today. Meanwhile, in the stairwell, Wang Lang and his subordinates commenced their search. Head, nothing here. Me neither. Me too. Wang Lang spoke into the walkie-talkie. Excellent. Seal off all exits. We cannot let anyone escape. The others continued their search. You all follow me. The officers, full of determination, looked at Wang Lang's back. Inevitably reminded of Captain Wang Zhigua. It seems they share a resemblance, don't they? Of course, they are master and disciple. How could they not be similar? Unfortunately, some speculated that Wang Lang might be Captain Wang's illegitimate son. Although they tracked Ling Han's vehicle and identified that Han Li was within this community, they were unable to pinpoint his exact residence. Fortunately, this neighborhood has very few residents. Rooms can be searched to uncover the past. The report indicated that the 7th floor has been thoroughly examined, revealing no suspicious individuals. Wang Lang produced a temporary map of the residential complex. Since there was no sign of Han Li from the 1st to the 7th floors, he must be on the 8th or perhaps the 9th. Everyone, follow me to the 8th floor. The viewers in the police chief's live stream gasped in shock. Why does it feel so tense? It must be said that the fact the police chief is going to such lengths shows just how formidable Han Li truly is. Humph. I bet that Han Li is so frightened he won't dare to show his face. The police chief is invincible. A throng of officers, brimming with vigor and armed with specialized weaponry, donned civilian attire to avoid disturbing the residents. Unless one looked closely, they would not discern their true identities as law enforcement. I've heard that Han Li possesses remarkable marksmanship, capable of shooting around corners. Is that true? Haha. I also heard from some eliminated veterans that Han Li has a way of enchanting people, a veritable monster. Do you believe that? However, on the streets, they say he is a pervert. Agreed. Wang Lang berated the novices participating in the hunt for Han Li. What are you doing? Focus. Those so-called veterans you talk about were eliminated just like you. Understood. The viewers at home felt their tension rise as they watched the officers move with precision. Bang. Search. Comply. Officer, I'm an upstanding citizen. The man raised his hands. Everyone stared at the man dressed in a maid outfit, freshly donned stockings adorning his legs, surrounded by crumpled papers piled like balls. Everyone, ahem, pardon the intrusion. Please continue, sir. Wang Lang and the other officers turned in unison to shut the door on him. The man was taken aback. No, officer, let me explain. Before long, several rooms had been searched. Which one is left? The innermost room, 402. Follow me. Wang Lang led his subordinates straight to the final room. A flurry of footsteps echoed. The owner of the room frowned. What is that ruckus? Let us check it out. He emerged with a group of thugs, accompanied by Ling Han. Thus, the two factions encountered one another. What are they doing? Wang Lang was puzzled. So many people? The owner was taken aback. At that moment, Ling Han spotted Wang Lang. So many officers. He recalled a phrase Han had once imparted to him. Xiao Han. Let me share my secret to success. One must be shameless to be invincible. Also, if things get dire, is it best to intervene promptly? Wrong. It's about adding fuel to the fire to make it worse. My apologies, Officer Wang. Brother Wang, you finally arrived. These ruffians are too arrogant. Hurry. Show them what we're made of. Wang Lang. What, Brother Wang? We've only met once, haven't we? The owner felt a jolt of apprehension. Do they know each other? This is odd. I came here to collect a debt, and this person brought so many people along. Yet Ling Han calls him Brother Wang. Blocking my path. Fine. You think bringing reinforcements will intimidate me? Dream on. Foolish wretch. You shall wait and see. My brother Wang will certainly make you regret your insolence. In his presence, you amount to nothing. Ling Han unleashed a torrent of profanities he had learned from Mr. Han. What did you say? Hu Delong's anger flared. Brothers, arm yourselves. Wang Lang sensed something amiss and quickly addressed the individual. Do not move recklessly. To hell with you. Hu Delong swung a broom towards Wang Lang's head, establishing an initial show of force. Wang Lang was taken aback. The officers were equally bewildered. Attack the officers? Are you mad? So what if there are many of us? Brothers, let us annihilate them. Hu Delong could not tolerate such disrespect. This is outrageous. No payment, and you dare call for assistance? Are you insane? Do you not realize that I, Hu Delong, command respect from all nearby police stations? You insignificant fools dare to challenge me? Attack. The henchmen shouted curses as they charged forward. Head, should we engage? Wang Lang touched the wound on his head. He darkened in countenance. Arrest them all. Understood. The officers surged forward as well. A chaotic brawl ensued in the narrow corridor, with some throwing dirt, others spitting, and one wielding a stool against the officers. Damn it. I am determined to claim this money today. What money? What are you even talking about? Wang Lang retaliated with a punch. Bang. Hu Delong was stunned, feeling the blood trickle from his nose. Blood? Damn you. He screamed. Madness ensued. Watching the chaotic melee, Ling Han felt a sense of foreboding. It resembled a brawl at the village square. It was hard to distinguish friend from foe. The officers were taken aback by the ferocity of their adversaries, finding themselves gradually retreating. Damn it, head, this place is disadvantageous for us. I'm one of you, why are you hitting me? Charge. Wang Lang realized he might have been manipulated by Ling Han. He noticed the scoundrel making a hasty retreat. Stop. It's all a misunderstanding. But Hu Delong, blinded by rage, hurled his removed leather shoe at Wang Lang. A misunderstanding? You little brat, taste my shoe. Wang Lang was struck and inhaled the odor emanating from the shoe, feeling a wave of dizziness wash over him. Oh, the pungency. It's toxic. Take another shoe. Suddenly, Wang Lang brandished a specially designed firearm, pressing it against Hu Delong's forehead. Stop. Huh? You're trying to intimidate me? Is that a toy gun? Bang. Wang Lang fired